I'm ready.
Hello, all of you delightful beings out there, and welcome to the stream. I am Razim, and this is Data Anomaly Hunter's Scar, Season 1, Episode 3, Journey's Beginning. This is one of our this is our Digimon tabletop RPG campaign being run with our custom Scar system, or stories and creatures in alternate realities. It is a system that is in open playtest and available for you all to go check out and let us know what you think through our Discord, which you can get to through the link tree down below. We are joined today by Wicked Whiskers doing art. You'll see them in a few minutes when the art scroll is finished. But for now, let's go ahead and start with introductions. Also, I am aware that I forgot to update the tip goal. I'll get that in just a moment. But go ahead, Zerda.
Hi, this is Zoda Fox Weikenbach. I'm Zoda. I'm one of the storytellers for the channel, and I'm running the Digimon game exclusively. Well, I'm exclusively running this game only, and I'm here to tell hopefully an engaging story for everyone to have today. Over to you, Arcus. I think.
Hey, I'm Gimund, and I'm playing Arcus, the electric basic Harrismon. And Asher is saved from the typical thing today. Undo the Asher.
I am Razim, and I am playing as Asher, the Labramon. He is Astral Light type, God of Death, Lord of Evil, Master of Traps. And yeah, gonna bring all sorts of great things to the campaign. Off to you, Haboku.
Hello, y'all. I'm IDDoThings, or Ido if you prefer. And tonight, I'll be playing Haboku of the Fire Necrotic Lugamon. And currently on a light, I've turned undead. Not really sure where his brain's at the moment.
So turned unalived?
I need to go back through the other two recordings and see how many different ways you pronounced your name.
Oh no, name cards.
I'm working on it. Apologies. Onto the Jace.
Hello, I'm Drunk Dragonera, and I will be playing Jace, the Shadow Mythic Black Gillimon X. Go ahead, Korda.
Hey everybody, I'm Raharu, and I'll be playing Kotora, the Mythic Fire type Gabumon. On to you, Rib.
Hello, I'm Talderis, and I'll be playing Riv, the Mythic Water type Vorvamon, who has a wonderfully developed sense of self-preservation, and yeah, you should totally just let him run off and do things.
Liar.
Definitely.
All right, for the recap, go for it, Undead Doggy.
Okay.
A generous bestow.
Okay, never mind. Time for tradition, it seems.
Traditional party things.
Alright, thank you, Gimund. Thank you, Raijin. Thank you, Raharu.
You're welcome.
A generous bestowal. Retipped $15. What do you call a plural of bone-in jellos? Gigolos. A generous bestowal. Raharu 95 tipped $10. Gabuman noises.
You know, thank you, Ido. Originally, I gave these delays so that way those that tip and help out the channel would have their stuff up longer.
IDDoThings tipped $10. Razim coins.
The back-to-back ones make me regret that slightly. Okay, are we done? I think so.
Yeah, sadly, I had to move my tradition to tomorrow.
Okay. In that case,
Feel the backhand of
that
justice.
is the first 3 tiers of the tip goal completed. Thank you, everybody. I do really appreciate it.
Okay. To my knowledge, we began off the last session, continuing off of the breakfast as for today.
Truly, this is the dankest dungeon.
Obligatory
Ren_L59 tipped $5.
Thank you, Red, and thank you, Raijin, again. I legit really appreciate your guys' support. Thank you.
Thank you, you two.
A generous bestowal.
Also, that is the tip goal fully completed.
The tip
Hooray!
$10.
Yay.
Didn't you just say... Okay.
No, my name
Yeah.
was just mentioned.
Okay, I was about to say, like, wait, hold on.
Raijin just said arrow randomly. I don't know why.
I think Era is doing the tradition for you.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick up because I can only really do so much a week right now. I'm gonna start doing it on Fridays instead. I'll let y'all take care of Thursdays usually by yourselves anyway. So I'm like, I'm gonna move to Fridays now.
There. So anyways, as we were continuing off from breakfast, as I think the Sudoku argument had passed by then, and Kotora and Riv had done some chatting, awkward, brother, family, chatting, that morning, before I guess more soup was delivered to Kotora, and which he shared with Haboku, and now Haboku is a very loyal friend to Kotora. Then I think at some point Ace had informed everyone that it was time for us to be debriefed. So Arcus, as Haboku and Riv had run off while Asher and Ace remained behind with Kotora. Asher wanting to once again interrogate Jace on the thing that had occurred the night before. And Ace was reaffirming that he had no real idea of what happened, but Asher didn't seem to be buying it. Meanwhile, back with the other 3, once they'd made it to I believe the meeting hall or whatever it had been, and there'd been a message for debriefing a certain mission, and that wasn't, I don't believe, was actually addressed as towards our group, but involved a volcano, so to speak, that made a village that happened to be near it, and some potential risk that the glitch edge was causing in that area. Correct me if I'm wrong.
You're good.
Yeah. Haboku tried to read it, but he's not very literate. As it's very revealed. And Arcus and Riv have gotten into a very engaged and excitable conversation about ruins and such, and their research around it. Though Riv had managed to get a scan of the document and to read later at some point. And then, but eventually, the rest of the party caught up the Gatomon and the Wergarurumon, and whose names I'm not remembering.
There would be Kiga is the Godamon, and Kino Sume or Kino is the Wergurumon. Kino and Kega.
Kino and Kega. Okay. Okay. Kino and Kega had finally arrived. I have to give the group their proper debriefing. They were we were given information about something going on in a nearby town, to which we were sent to investigate. Apparently, some other glitch anomaly involving. God, how bad my memory is.
It was rain and the town of Shashin.
Yes. I
It
had
was
some
glitch rain.
Yeah, glitch rain. I knew it had something to do with water. Huh? Yeah, it involved rain in the town of Shashin, in which I believe Kega was very passionate about. I don't think Ink particularly cared much, but wanted to still protect it as it was as nearby the current time. And I think following the debriefing, the party kind of went its separate ways. Riv had gone to do research, I believe, and later that night I had accompanied Kino for a few hours before being sent to the sent back to ensure that he got some rest and was safe from danger. Kind of drawing a blank on what Kotora was doing. Oh wait, now I remember. Kotora had gone on to, I believe, to a merchant to get some cooking supplies.
Yeah, he first went to the food district to see if he could get some cooking utensils there, but they sell exclusively food there, so he got ready to go to the blacksmith.
Oh, right. Arcus as himself had also gone on to a merchant and got various supplies for the trip we were making, including 2 bread rolls that he apparently doesn't know what he got them. Jace had went to a little bar. Not much else to say there, unless he wants to add on to it.
Joke.
No, I just went to the bar and apparently harvest poison.
And Haboku had gotten recruited by Asher to assist in some trap making that the rest of the party wasn't too keen on. Before Haboku had led Asher to, I believe, the barracks next to do some training. And eventually the party reconvened back at the room they stayed beforehand. And a very lucky roll by Arcus has caught the first trap. Happened. Haboku has quickly it quickly became apparent that Haboku is not very culturally inclined, as he'd been told it was a surprise by Asher, and thus believed it was as a surprise that everyone would enjoy. He and Asher are now grounded, for lack of a better term. And then the party turned in for the night after going out with some before bed shenanigans, and I believe that is all, unless anyone else has something to add.
Not yet. That's pretty much it.
You did a very good job. I appreciate that. Rev went to the Rev got some data from a lab as well. I met a little Candyman there.
Yeah, that's what I was
he made a new friend called Han. Who is he is making a point to remember his name. Because he literally told Riv, people don't remember my name, and then so now he's going to do that.
And funnily enough, when I asked the blacksmith his name, he decided not to give it to him, not to give it to Kotora.
Black seems very reluctant to give their name for some reason. And if that's the, I will say though, they did engrave your name very well. They seem to take great pride in remembering and engraving your name on the specialized cooking utensils for you, Kotora.
Indeed. Kotora is quite happy about that.
We have a few extra? Everyone got a few bit of supplies. I think it was Arcus that helped supply other people with some backpacks as well as some canteens for everyone, as well as having just a general pack of traveling goods from the room that Asher and Haboku went to. So by morning you'd be able to find those pretty well. But as for the morning, let's see here.
It was just canteens and travel rations, not backpacks.
Oh yeah, I think it was Asher the one that found all the various backpacks. I think Haboku was looking at all the different backpacks in the supply room too.
Plus,
A lot of rope.
the only canteen he's given out so far is to Jace, because then it immediately went. Because then Asher and Haboku got in trouble.
Well, thankfully, Kotora already has a backpack. He needed one because he brought his own cooking pot with him.
So, but he would have given Kotora and Riv their canteens. However, Asher and Haboku probably not yet because they're still in trouble.
Kotora would smile at Arcus and just say, "Oh, thank you. This will be great." I should have thought of buying one by myself. Now that I think about it.
Gotta stay hydrated.
Is this insulated at all, by the way?
Arcus realizing he forgot to check.
It's about the canteens or the backpacks?
The canteens.
It seems to be made of a almost. The outside of the canteens themselves almost has almost like a fuzzy texture. It's some sort of not leather, but some sort of almost plant-like material. You can tell just by kind of rubbing your paw on the outside of the canteen. You feel almost like that fuzz about the outside. Though most of it seems to have been shaven down or what have you through the process of making into it, but it's some sort of material from most likely a fibrous plant. But the inside seems to, as you were to fill it with water, as some of the canteens came with water as well, you realize that there doesn't seem to be any leaks, and if you were to put your claw inside the canteen and kind of feel the difference between all the thickness of the canteen, you'd see that it actually has a decent layer, and it almost has almost a smooth, almost very very smooth texture on the outside, which is completely contrary to the almost fuzziness that is on the outside of it.
So it is. So it is insulated.
It may not keep your drinks cold or hot, but it definitely does seem like it would keep it from puncturing or spilling by any sorts of means other than dropping it outright.
Okay,
so it seems very
not
durable.
insulated. It's
Yeah,
durable but not insulated.
Not insulated. That's actually gonna be a problem.
So what we gotta have you guys do is every 5 minutes or so, you guys gotta exchange your canteens.
One of them heats up things in an area around them, the other one cools it down.
Yes.
So we got the heater and we got the cooler and we got 2 grounded individuals. Got it.
Yeah. Rib is gonna look down at it and go, do you think you could hold on to my canteen for me? I don't want to accidentally freeze it. Ice is hard to drink.
As long as you don't mind drinking hot water, Rib.
Well, I mean, it'll only take a little bit to cool it down.
That's fair. Yeah, I'll hold it. I'll hold it on to you. Kotora is picking Rib's canteen. I'm always happy to help.
Thanks, Kotora.
And it would put, and then also puts everyone into a, with all the different traps properly sprung or destroyed or reset into non-hostile states. I would say everyone's able to manage themselves into bed enough and find themselves sleeping. It's very, almost, it's the day before your adventure, and how's everyone feeling themselves internally more so?
Rib is feeling really excited, but also very nervous that his brother is here.
Kotora is feeling really excited and also very nervous that his brother is here.
They are siblings.
How do the siblings feel? They're very good, except for they're really afraid the fact that their sibling is here.
They have the exact same feeling. Good, but they're why? Oh no, their sibling is here.
They're related, and that's a problem.
How is Asher feeling before the adventure starts? The night before the adventure starts, how's Asher sleeping tonight?
As I'm he's looking away in the chat.
Yes, at least.
How's Haboku feeling tonight? How are they sleeping tonight?
He's making sure he's getting some rest. He doesn't fully understand what grounded means, and though he sees Jace is unhappy.
And what about you, Arcus?
He's just happy in the top bed.
And lastly, how's Jace feeling after their bed being thoroughly on the ground at the moment with the wooden legs underneath the mattresses properly removed?
He's very tempted just to go back to his house, but hashtag this is my life now. I made this bed. Unfortunately, I'm going to lay in it.
Now you gotta lay in it.
Slightly, almost literally. I didn't technically make Asher, but I raised him.
With that, everyone with their own thoughts to themselves, mostly quiet for the night. The night goes by uneventful, with the peace of the city keeping everyone well calm within. And with that, the next morning arises. You would imagine that you have about 15 miles by foot north, so you would know that you don't want to exactly leave too late, but the roads along, or the travel alongside the roads are going to be pretty easy from what you have been told and debriefed so far. The roads to the north have been so well traveled that you shouldn't find any issues. However, it being 15 miles does mean that it will be a day's journey, so it wouldn't be advised to go too late. Who's waking up first?
I think Asher set an alarm for them to wake up first or something.
They did. They set up a silent alarm thing, or not silent, but alarm that no one else would hear in order to wake up. And Zim has stepped away slightly, so
Yeah.
Yeah, and I believe also on the docket was Jace giving Asher greens.
He is getting greens for breakfast, damn it.
I will say you all will get at least, with your missions coming in soon, with your missions now properly given to you all, you would know that you have at least one more breakfast of luxury before the adventure out.
On a side note, Zerda, I do need to make one adjustment on my character sheet due to a rule change. Did you just want me to send that to you in private?
Yeah, just go ahead.
Okay.
Whatever you need to, just let me know, and you'll be good. I'll say that everyone, we'll see. Let's see here.
Zim will be back as soon as he can be, by the way.
Oh no, I understand entirely. We'll go ahead and get everyone in the breakfast room themselves, the cafeteria. Less so as much as the previous day, but it's the day of, and you get to have your breakfast. Is everyone juicing up on anything in particular this morning?
Nope.
Unless someone's going to stop him, Haboku is just going to eat exactly what he ate the previous day, aka leaning more towards meat.
And I'll say, you'll be able to. I'll say, Jace, you'll be able to pick up whatever green-like substances you would like to go, as you'd imagine that your journey would take you very far north, and definitely not something you want to spend too long ago. And also, yes, I do see that. Okay, perfect. Okay, I'll say that you know that the city that was mentioned of Sashin is in the north, so you would be having to leave out of the northern exit. The city itself mainly it used to have more exits, but with the recent glitch, as well as the building of the essentially wall around the city, there has been more and more controlled entrances and exits. So there seems to be one exit in each of the cardinal directions.
Back, sorry.
You're good. Due to the different biomes. So you would be able to head north if you would like to leave the city towards Sashin. Though I think Jace was going to have a special breakfast prepared for Asher this morning.
Oh, we're gonna give him a nice proper, leafy salad, with spinach and kale.
Yeah, Asher.
Sorry, because I'm not a monster.
Asher, when his alarm goes off, is sneaking out and going back home.
You wake up to it, miss. You wake up as everyone begins to wake up, then you would notice there is no Asher in bed.
Squinting.
I'll give you the option. Do you want to go to the cafeteria, or do you want to go find Asher before you get to the cafeteria?
Oh, I'm finding Asher. I will politely excuse myself and be like, excuse me, I gotta go find my grounded son.
Kotora is just waving at Chase. Good luck.
He's probably hiding underneath a pile of books in his room again. Just give me, 20 minutes.
Kotora gives a thumbs up.
I'll say, are you gonna grab anything on your way out, or are you going straight there?
Bagel.
You grab a bagel
creamy cream cheese.
You grab it on your way out as you head towards what you can only assume you would be, what they would only assume what they would be is the house. You get to the front of the house. Did you lock the door behind you, Asher?
Oh, of course. And reset up the booby trap on the door.
Jace, do you go in the front entrance of your home?
Oh, what Jace is going to do is he's going to unlock the door, then open it and step aside. He's very well aware of this trap.
Yeah, it's one that Jace is very familiar with.
As you open the door, go ahead.
I was going to say I watched the canned snakes go flying out the door as usual.
You may describe your own home if you wish, or would like to go straight to Asher's room.
Oh, Asher's room is the only room here. I'm going straight to it.
You may.
Knock on the door. Asher.
There was a bit of shuffling in there until the knock, and then there's a quick little shuffle and then silence.
Actually, you're not as good at this as you think you are. So I'll make a deal with you. I'll half the amount of salad I was going to give you this morning if you come back without a fuss. Or you can sit in there and make me come in there and drag you out to go on our mission that we need to leave for this morning, by the way, for the thing that you wanted to do. And I make sure that for the next month you eat nothing but green stuff every day because I'm usually the one that finds our food.
Shudders.
So, do you want to just do half a salad this morning and then possibly apologize to the team for, booby trapping literally everything? That includes me. Or do you want a month of nothing but green stuff? Your choice, boy.
There is some more shuffling. Something crashes over. And the door will open slowly.
There we go. Immediately picks up Asher and starts walking.
I'm not done yet.
Done with what?
Getting ready.
You were supposed to bring this stuff with you. What are you
I
getting ready?
I didn't know where we were going and stuff before, so now I gotta get ready.
Put Asher down, cross his arms. All right.
He's got a half-packed bag with a lot of books.
Remember, you gotta walk with that. I'm not carrying it for you.
Sir.
I'm serious this time, Asher. I'm not doing it.
Okay. He'll take out some books.
There you go.
He won't take the Digifinder books with him. Besides, he's got those digitized, so that's fine. But he is bringing the medical journals. At least a couple.
Leave the battle map.
But what if we get into combat?
We'll use a virtual one.
Okay.
And I know you got at least 7 pairs of spare dice in there. You only need 1 set of dice. Come on.
But the clicky clacks. And what if the others don't have dice?
We'll share.
Sharing dice?
Oh yes, blasphemy. Excuse me from being from a small town where you're lucky to even have 1 set of dice. Do you know how long it took us to get those books? Never mind. Just grab your stuff. Come on. I don't want to be late. I'm out of bagel.
He'll finish up and then head out with Jace.
Have fun
Okay,
apologizing.
You did it to Asher about apologizing?
Yes, Asher has to apologize to the party.
Let's say you'd be able to make your with the travel time itself, the rest of the party knowing that they can't really go anywhere without you both anyways. As a team, it's still a team regardless if 2 of them seem to be missing. So you'd come back to the cafeteria with what I can only assume would be mostly empty plates from everyone else, a little bit later in the morning than what would probably be preferred to leave. But with you guys gone, I'd imagine that everyone would be waiting in the either cafeteria while they essentially finish up the meal, talking about the journey ahead as you guys would show up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty reasonable.
Yeah. Well, in the morning before all that, Kotora would give Rib back his canteen, and also tell him, I hope you like the thing I made for you.
Did you brew tea in his canteen?
No, he gave Rib food last night.
Yeah.
Oh.
Rib is just gonna go. Oh, I was gonna have that for lunch on the road.
Oh, that's fair. May as well conserve it since we can just have food at the cafeteria. That's fair.
Yep.
I can heat it up for you if it's too cold by that time.
I really appreciate that. I have gotten very used to eating cold food.
That's fair.
I've kind of had to carry all my food on me for the past few months, so yeah.
That's true. You were out for quite a while.
I lost track of time a little bit.
Honestly, so did I. Not entirely sure how long. When was the last time I saw you? I was not expecting to see you here.
Yeah, it was. This was a good place to get a lot more information about glitch things, and then, so originally I was just trying to explore some ruins, and then all the glitch stuff started happening, so I started looking into all of that, and then, so I've been going around trying to find a bunch of information on that, and then, ends up leading to more stuff, and now I'm here.
Kotora nods. Yeah,
I did get to explore the ruin though. That was fun.
Oh, that's good. How did it went? How did it went?
So I gathered a bunch of data, and I haven't really done that much with it yet because that was a little bit before the glitch thing started happening, and then I kind of just immediately swapped tracks when that started happening.
That's actually fair enough. This is the glitch. The glitch stuff is a much more important nation, I gather.
Yep, the ruin will hopefully still be there. I don't know. There's been a lot of glitch stuff related to ruins, so it might not still be there after. Hopefully, I can make sure it'll still be there.
Really?
Hopefully.
Oh yeah, no, there was like a lot of glitch stuff going on with ruins actually.
Do you think whoever or whatever is causing these glitches are hiding in the ruins?
No, that'd be a really bad place to hide. They're dangerous normally anyway, so it'd probably be a bad idea to hide inside of the ruins if you're also causing a bunch of instability around you. At least if it is an actual person. If it's just one of the more natural ones, those kind of just do what they want, I think.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, that's fair enough.
And as you're discussing this should be about the time Asher and Jace would have appeared before you all, as you would all kind of see them walking in, with most of the Digimon of the various teams walking out of the cafeteria. You'd notice pretty well the people who are now entering the cafeteria, being your two missing compatriots as well.
Riv is going to wave at them.
Kotora does as well.
Jace is going to nudge Asher towards the table and go and get himself and Asher breakfast to go.
Asher will go up to the table. I'm sorry for making the room with surprised mechanics.
Kotora is gonna make a spit take when he hears the word surprise mechanics. What? What do you mean surprise mechanics?
The traps.
Is that what people are calling it these days? That's the first time I've heard it.
Haboku looks a bit lost, though he processes. Oh, I should probably apologize to you then. Sorry, I didn't know anybody would be upset. He looks a bit sad.
Oh, it's fine. I'm used to running into a lot of traps.
Well, at least those were traps that are usually like made by some ancient civilization or just people in the wild, not by your own teammate.
Yeah,
but I'm still
those-
used to running into them.
That's not healthy.
That is indeed not healthy for Kotora. You shouldn't be running into them. You should be swerving around them.
I try and
Wait.
see them beforehand.
You mean Rev?
Yeah, Rev.
You said Kotora, so.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Rev.
And he's just gonna go, well, I try and see them beforehand. It's just also, if there's a trap between me and something that I need to look at, I will look at the thing.
Kotora is just whatchamacallit, tapping his finger on the table as he hears Riv saying that.
I think disarming the trap might be a good idea
You mean
before
what I did
doing
yesterday?
the thing.
Oh, yeah, but normally I just, try and fly over it. That works out a lot of the time, actually. Not all the time, but it works out a lot.
Asher's just gonna quietly slip away from the table. It seems like his job's done.
Kotora's gonna look at Asher and say, I appreciate the apology. Just try not to do that again. Especially not to Kotora. Or Riv.
Okay, I will do different kinds of surprise mechanics.
Kotora squints.
Asher will have a plate put in front of him that has a light salad, some fruit, a nice proper breakfast spread. Jace will kiss him on the head and be like, no, you're not. And then he's going to sit down himself with far too many bagels and a little bit of other stuff.
Yeah. By the way, what I meant to say, especially not to Riv. I don't know why I keep saying Kotora.
Because I think you're saying of just saying the words like Kotora says, and then it's just,
Yeah.
Can I imagine that Kotora just pulls out a mirror every single time and looks at himself for half a second?
No.
Hey.
That would be funny though, but no.
But why no more surprise mechanics? Like, I've got this deck of cards here that they can draw from, and that'll determine if, they get the healing thing, or I attack them, and, we could have collectible stuff.
Hack, eat your breakfast so we can go.
Haboku will nudge Jay slightly and give him the apology as well.
Pat Haboku. I have gained another child. I don't know how this happened.
Kotora gives Haboku a thumbs up.
The same way that Spike has gained Nova.
Nova is not Spike's
Nova is
child.
not Spike's child. Nova is Spike's favorite target.
Nova's Spike's favorite accident that wanders the world.
Haboku's tail is wagging, and as people seem to be happier around him.
How do you go about eating this half salad, Asher? Do you eat it slowly, fast?
He is sitting there poking at it.
I'm not getting up to get you cake until after you finish that.
But I want pie.
Pie after salad.
Kotora is gonna look at Jace and just ask him, is cooking for him going to be a problem?
So he played a video game where everything green was poison, and he decided that was the truth after he ate a piece of broccoli that didn't exactly taste great. Because, motions around him. We were kind of traveled for a while. And yeah.
Ah.
Now he's decided that everything green is poison. So if you want him to eat it, just don't put any green in it. And if you really want him to eat it anyways because it's healthy and it's good for him, just threaten to remove all pie from the vicinity.
Kotora nods. I see. Well, I'm just going to say this right now. If he ever tosses away any food I make him, I won't make him any more food.
Asher takes a bite of the salad, pretends to die. Is apparently very bad at it.
Well, I guess we're gonna miss pie then, because they're gonna take it away sooner or later here.
I'd like to see eat that.
And now he's rapidly eating it.
I'd like to see he just pretends to die while he's sitting right next to Haboku.
Pretend to die right in front of the actually dead person.
Out of character, I don't know if we know that he's dead.
We probably don't.
I mean, who suspects a zombie sitting right next to you?
Yeah.
Oh no, new canvas.
Nobody expects the zombie.
Besides, as much as Kotora might not cook for someone again if they don't eat his food, Riv might do something rude if someone doesn't want to eat Kotora's cooking.
And after properly eating that, you notice that there is give me a percentile dice, Jace. Just 2d10. If they have it. 8.
8%.
As you go to look at the pastries, you manage to catch them just before they are about to take it away. Like, you see them, like, en route with, like, a whole tray of just, like a whole empty tray headed directly to the pastry section as you are getting up and going there.
I gotta take care of the kid first. I promised him pie. I'm grabbing pie first.
You do, as you see this person coming, as you see this Digimon coming over with this empty platter ready to take all of the uneaten pastries. You're able to just in time get there and grab enough of it, as you kind of lock eyes for a second as you are grabbing an absorbent amount of sweet pastries right before they come to collect it. They kind of just look at you a little bit oddly.
Important question. Did I get Asher's pie?
You did. You managed to just barely get it in time, as they just haven't managed to get over to that section yet.
Good. The pie is what matters. Him destroying the bread is less important and will happen later, and he isn't as worried about it. Though he is giving them the death glare.
I can take, and so you kind of see them kind of lower the platter a little bit as they start collecting. I'll move over to another section for now. Take your fill from here before I get to it, and I'll come back to the section in a moment. You kind of see as they seem to be just, kind of a small bit of a judgment in their eyes as you were just grabbing, like, nothing but sweet pastries from, and sweet pies from the countertop. As you kind of hear as they begin to walk over, they just don't eat like they used to. All sweets and sweets these days, as you kind of hear them beginning to fade out as they go to walk over to another section of the food.
Death glare. There, Asher has pie.
You successfully acquired pie before it was taken. You may now return it to your, you may return your quest item to the quest giver.
The child has been appeased. He will not scream for another day. Anybody else want anything before, all the sweets go away? Or are we good?
Sorry, what was the question?
I said, does anybody else want any sweets before they take it away?
Kotora shakes his head. No, thank you, but thank you.
Okay, and with
Thanks.
that, who's gonna take the lead towards the north of the city?
Gimund had something he posted in chat.
Ah,
You can go ahead and say it on voice now, there, Gimund.
Go on.
Riv, what sort of ruin were you trying to explore? You said something about it earlier.
Technically speaking, I've actually visited multiple ruins. I've been trying to actually go around to as many ruins as possible in order to, see as many of them as I can. I really wanted to go up to the Hemka ruins, but I haven't had a chance yet. I think that would be really neat. But, yeah. So, there. Oh, okay. I normally I'd have like an entire thing that I would start bringing up a dissertation, but currently a lot of my data got scrambled a bit, so I don't actually have all that ready. I have it around somewhere, and I haven't managed to put it into an entire presentation like I normally could. But I actually saw some really interesting things there in relation to, well, I'm not sure how to explain it, but it is there anything specific you want to ask? Because otherwise, I'm trying to remember.
Enta? Huh. That's familiar.
Kotora is rubbing his chin at what Riv said. You're having trouble remembering, Riv?
Yeah, there might have been an accident, and I still have my data. It's just not where it should be. It got a little bit scrambled. It's all still there. I just haven't reorganized it yet, and all of my organization is gone, and my files are everywhere. My file system got scrambled.
Kotora is narrowing his eyes. This is why I tell you to watch out for traps.
It was okay. Well, it was not that obvious.
Fair enough, but still, you know that you need to be more careful whenever you explore these places.
Oh, is that what traps do to you?
Oh, well, some of them, but it didn't exactly happen inside of a ruin. But some stuff can do some really nasty things to you.
Indeed. Well, traps can be anything as long as it's basically a surprise trying to basically either harm or hamper an individual.
See, a surprise mechanic!
So Riv, why did you want to go to the Henka roots?
Because they're ruins. And they hadn't been explored yet much.
I remember being in them. Don't really know why, though.
Are you also an explorer of some sort, Arcus?
Yeah. I explored, Cory a lot.
You and Riv will definitely get along. I think I've lost count of how many ruins he has visited. Sometimes with me, but his last adventure he went by himself.
Huh. I mean, in the future, Cory has, very interesting things.
I would love to see them. I wish
And
my
then
file system didn't get scrambled, though.
Then Arcus starts listing off the names of some of the places he's talking about within Corey that he's explored.
Yeah, Rib is very notably going to be like taking a bunch of internal notes about this, like just basically hanging on to your every word as you explain things.
Kotora also seems to be listening, and he also on the side he's asking Riv, is there anything I can do to help you there?
It's I don't really think so. It was a very weird circumstance, and it's like I checked. It's all there. It just takes me a while to remember things. If I think for long enough, I'll eventually remember it because I just have to find where it went.
Kotora nods. Okay. As long as none of your data is deleted, I suppose that's fine.
It's very annoying, though. I liked having it was all organized.
I know.
So you remember things by thinking really hard on it. And
Yes.
now Haboku is sitting down and just as with a very intense expression as he just has his paws on the top of his head, looking like he's trying to think.
I will say, as you guys are talking, you would see both Kino and Kiga basically come into the cafeteria room, though not exactly paying attention to any one particular person or people. They seem to go to a table just like anyone else, though instead of going to get food, there seems to be food that is brought out to them. Specifically, Kiga going back into the kitchen area, and then coming out with what looks to be almost like a teapot, as well as two cups and some food from the kitchen. You can tell that the wolf themselves seems very almost tired, but gives a soft smile over to Kiga for anyone that's watching. You'd imagine that this is basically a sign that the morning briefings have seemed to have ended, as you'd imagine.
Nod.
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 Is there an echo in here?
With the absentee of most of the cafeteria room, there is a slight echo.
Alright, guys, we should probably get going.
Yeah.
Adventure! And Arcus is running out.
We're just gonna run out after him.
Kotora is running out right after the two of them.
Question is, anybody other than me not running out?
I mean, Haboku is still sitting down and thinking, trying to think. So you might want to snap him out of his stupor first.
Haboku,
Asher
you're gonna
isn't
get
running.
nudged. Oh, good. At least half the party then is going to walk.
Asher is kind of stumbling along, occasionally putting a paw to his stomach.
Oh, I see. The sweets gave you a tummy ache. I guess I won't be providing those anymore.
Oh, it was the poison.
Uh-huh. Why did I agree to do this?
Did everyone go? Oh, are we leaving now?
Yeah, we're leaving. Come on.
And now he's about to book it.
Well, you get free food, you get the monies. Besides, you were kind of just laying about the house feeling sorry.
I was not.
Oh, right. You also went out drinking a lot.
I did not. You're a full-time job, bud.
Well, now we both have a full-time job. Mahaha!
just get going. Jace is walking. He is not going to sprint out.
He said to the north. Which way's the north? And Arcus is going to try and position himself to the north.
So who here has directional awareness?
Riv has navigation.
I can try it and do a survival check. For that
Haboku also
bit,
has one and a navigation, but
Yeah.
he's-
Riv has
he
navigation
has
and
some catching
survival.
up to do first.
Yeah,
Arcus
Oh,
does too.
Kotora has survival.
At least, so someone give me a navigation check. Someone who thinks they're gonna lead the party a little bit.
Well, Arcus ran out first, so Arcus, go ahead and take 1 teamwork from Riv.
And you can take one, and you can take 1 navigation from Kotora.
Okay, so 5.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, very nice.
So close.
That is a 5. No,
That is
That's a
4.
4.
4. That is very successful. Even though you're in a mostly newer city to you, the city layout is designed to help people understand where they're going. The city itself has been designed. It's not too major of a city where you can get lost too easily. So at least as long as you keep to the major roads in town that pass through the town as well as around it, you'd be able to find your way to the north exit pretty well. As you would essentially, everyone else kind of following along, you would essentially be the one that is going maybe a little bit ahead of the group, but even though you seem excited, you definitely seem to know where you're going enough to where I think people would feel confident following you towards the north exit. It seems right.
All right. Hey. Oh, here it is. And
And
he's
as
gonna
you
look.
make-
He's gonna
Go
look around. Huh? Where did the others go?
And I think they're behind us. You guys kind of rushed forward.
Oh, we could just wait by the gate then.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
He's
so it
gonna,
was the east gate that we wanted to go out, right?
North.
As you make your way to the north gate, you'll see on the left and right, you see what looks to be a pretty decently tall gate, though it's about maybe 15 feet in height, enough to keep out some of the larger Digimon. You can see a few of definitely the heftier Digimon, as well as an 8-mon that seems to be helping get the wall structure around the perimeter. You can tell where some of the pieces of the wall clearly are still left to construction, but the gate itself seems to be built as if it was one of the first things built, as the gate itself seems to have a lot of structural integrity to it, as well as even a guard by the gate. They don't really seem to be like too much at post, as in they're not too alert, but they seem to be casually checking anyone coming in and outside of the town, just to make sure they're doing their part to make sure that they can be recognizing who is coming in and who is going. They seem very friendly, as they seem to wave anyone that is passing through, though they do seem to be stopping at least everyone at least once, if only for a brief moment.
Which one is this Digimon again? Sorry.
This one that seems to be at the gate, that seems to be kind of checking over everyone. This one's actually a Deputamon. You see them with their guns that seem to be holstered at the moment. They're almost with their large cowboy hat that seems to keep themselves almost with their air of authority to it in their own way, as they kind of seem to be discussing with anyone coming in and out.
Deputamon actually has a pretty cool design. Not gonna lie.
Bro.
I really like them all actually. Just gun.
Gun. But what if gun?
Indeed.
What if gun was a Digimon?
It's not just gun. It's gun combined with that black mage from Final Fantasy.
Combined
It's-
with holding additional gun.
I was about to
Yes.
say it's a gun that's holding guns,
Yes.
except cowboy with guns.
Yeah, it's a black mage wielding guns wearing a cowboy hat.
Oh, so it's a gun mage. Got it.
Yeah, it's an American mage.
He knows one spell, bullet. He also knows power of friendship, but it doesn't help too much when bullet, fixes most things.
Yep, you would definitely, you would see MAC. Despite his shorter stature, he does seem to carry an air of confidence with him. Though it's kind of, you can't really tell very much of whether he's kind of smiling, but you can kind of tell by the way his hat tips left to right, and that he seems very friendly as he nods along. His hat being almost as tall as he is. His hat is really large.
So, do we talk to that guy before we go out?
Probably. Although we should still probably wait for the rest of them first.
Yeah.
If we're gonna talk to him, everyone should probably be here for the talk.
Yeah.
They're over there near the cat person.
Oh, Jeez! They've got dice on sale here!
Nope.
But these ones are shiny!
Nope.
Oh.
We got people. You wanted this job. We're doing it. Come on. Picks up. Let's go.
Pouty Asher noises.
I would say after a decent amount of time, with the others waiting, a little bit, maybe if not anxiously, if not patiently, I would say that Asher and Jace would be able to eventually find their way towards the northern gate enough. Jace probably taking the responsible way of, finding directions more so than gut feelings.
It's a city. You find a north and south running road and you just follow it until it ends.
And as you guys approach, you see...
Jace, this is a
Okay.
wall, not the gate.
Yep, and then we go east from here, geez.
The rest of everyone else, you see Jace and Asher finally making their way towards the gate. The Deputy seems to kind of stare at you a few times, he can tell that you guys are probably wanting to leave, but no one talks to him, so he just kind of keeps staring over at you guys every now and then, waiting for you guys to talk to him, but he's not going to talk to you guys first, so he just kind of seems to stare at you guys every now and then. He kind of nods his head to the gate with almost a puzzled kind of look about himself, but with you guys not going towards the gate, he just kind of looks away. No one has approached him. He seems very confused.
We're just waiting for the rest of our team.
Haboku will most likely just approach him and sniff at him, curiously.
Oh yeah, because that's gonna help his confusion.
You see, well, howdy, doggy. What you doing here?
We were, then he's going to turn to the rest of the group. What were we doing again?
Oh, okay. So we were about to go north to Shashan because we just joined the data anomaly hunters, and we were going to investigate why there was a bunch of glitch rain there.
Oh, right. What he said.
Kotora nods.
You get to see him kind of tip his hat to you all. Well, I reckon I saw some of y'all come in. I don't remember too much, but I reckon somebody come in and tell him about you guys. You gotta come into the city one way or another. But I think I heard about you from one of some of the other gates. Well, like I said, there's a lot of danger going up north. Gotta make sure y'all keep safe now. The train system doesn't seem to want to work right now, so you have to take it by foot.
Kotora nods. Yeah, we heard that in our briefing, which is unfortunate, but it is how it is. We'll do our best to be careful.
Yeah.
Kinda looks, yeah, with that big old crack over there, they're gonna have to build an entire new way of support structure for them railings. That steam locomotive, poor Bessie, she's not gonna make her way to that city for a while. They gotta find a way to get them tracks over that crack.
Oh, the rails are damaged that badly, huh?
You ever see, and kind of says, you ever see a fish out of water? You know how they flop around all like?
Kotora nods.
Imagine if you had a fish and you took out the ocean from underneath them and now they're sitting there flapping around at the bottom. They don't have any way to get around. Those railings are down closer to the bottom of the sea than a fish in a dried up river.
That sounds awful.
Yeah, they're not going to get that steam train going anytime soon. They're going to have to find a way to bridge, well, I'd say at least 500 paces all across that crevice. Got to find a way to get railing to the other side. Shouldn't be it shouldn't be affecting the main road though. Main road doesn't seem to have any cracks yet in it. Though, with all the craziness going on, I reckon that's not going to happen anytime soon.
Well, hopefully it gets built soon. Sounds interesting.
I reckon, little one, we're going to find our way back into the city. We're going to get them trades back over from there, and we're going to have all the nice seats back in the city. All them travelers from that town having to come back into the city or throw a hand and cart. I see so many tired faces coming back into the city. I have to tell them, sorry buddy, train no working right now. But you can always find a rest along the trail. They keep our city safe and keep the pathways safe too. But a lot of these people coming in with their carts, and I can see the exhaustion on them. It's taking a toll on the fruit market and all the other markets here, trying to get their goods into the city. Life ain't easy for them.
I can definitely imagine the caravans are suffering from this.
Yeah, imagine you're going now riding some steam train all the way to the city back in day, grabbing your crops, grabbing your vegetables, taking a wheelbarrow up on the train, come back into the town. Now you're having to go on foot, back to the old days.
Indeed.
Exhausted lot they are.
Yeah, that is really unfortunate, but at least it is only 15 miles, so you can't just cover that in one day and you won't be too exposed to any sort of glitch things on the road.
Indeed. At the moment that seems to be the most dangerous thing around at the moment.
Okay, looks as I reckon that's one of the rest of your team. They don't really look like the part of anyone else's around here. I think I saw them too one time. Kind of points over. Are they with you guys?
Is he pointing at Jason them, or is he pointing?
Yeah, you kind of see he's kind of pointing over. He kind of looks towards. You kind of like see him peeking out the left, and you kind of see what looks to be two figures that seem to be coming up from the wall side, as they seem to be kind of like going along a road that was previously more full empty, but now it seems to be that it is along the wall itself.
Oh yeah, that's Jason Asher. They're on our team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Chase, Asher, over here.
Yeah, I'm
Give us a
coming.
wave.
Hold on.
Asher is completely dead weight hanging in Jace's arm.
What happened to him?
I didn't let him stop and look at shiny new dice.
They were metal.
Doesn't like vegetables and also a drama queen.
I feel like shiny and metal. He kind of cautiously, he kind of like puts his hand by his side, like he's gonna do like a quick draw, and then in like one super swift motion, like he pulls out like the pistol pointing straight up in the air with like a glint, a silvery glint to his pistol. Now this is a real shiny metal. I got it made here in town. If you want shiny metal, this is one of the best things you can get in town.
Oh no, I want the most powerful kind of shiny metal. Far more powerful
2
than that.
guns. He pulls out his second gun. 2 guns.
Oh, you poor misguided soul. Asher's just shaking his head mournfully. No. Truly the most powerful thing is the dice.
He kind of looks. The kid doesn't seem to like guns very much.
Are those made of chrome digisoid?
One of the best in the can to get in the shop around here. Made it personally from the blacksmith himself. You kind of see him kind of spin the barrel, very like showmanship, like just kind of spinning the barrel with just like a single kind of flick of the wrist.
Wait,
Oh.
Digisoid? Sometimes those are found in ruins.
Yeah, I took my position up here as a guardian of one of these. Kind of gestures to the lodge gate. Kind of one of these gates, making sure no one of rude like gets into the city. Making sure everyone's coming in here with good means and good taste.
Oh, well, thank you for taking a job then.
Then it kind of says, these guns were my first payments from here. I used my payment from what I got from guarding this place and got these beautiful guns crafted straight in the city. Great blacksmith. Though he didn't really seem to know what his name was, but seems to be a really good blacksmith. I wish I could tell you where he was, but I can show you where it is sometime if you come back.
Oh, I know where he is. I ended up visiting him yesterday. He made a bunch of silverware for me. He also didn't seem keen to tell me his name. I didn't think he actually didn't remember it.
Kind of looks. Well, I reckon there's a lot of people in this city with different problems. This kind of problem, a virus thing, affects everyone different ways. I've seen some people with missing memories, missing limbs, missing family. It's all kinds of things coming to this city. All people kind of different, kind of people with different reasons their own way. It's kind of sad seeing them all come along, but I'd like to take report of it, make sure they understand what's going on and what's going on in the city.
I see. Well,
Yeah, it's sad, but we're gonna do everything we can to help.
indeed.
Great.
I reckon the case. He kind of tips the hat to you all. I don't think any of y'all have any misintent, and judging by the fact of what y'all are working for, I reckon y'all be a good team for everything going on here. You all make your way to the north here. I don't want y'all hanging around without it getting too dark around here. It may be a short trek to the city, but you don't want to be wasting it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Kind of, he does his hat one more time over at you, Haboku. Now get along, little doggy.
Okay. Hey. He prefers to run that off before he realizes he still doesn't know.
Stop running, you all.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard to run across all this. We're gonna have to just walk kind of fast.
Can't we just walk, please?
Okay, God.
It's best to walk if you're going long distances. You don't
Well,
burn so much
yeah,
energy.
but it's only a singles day trip, so.
Yeah, there's no reason to run then.
Well, no. If it's a single day trip, then if you walk fast, you can get there faster and not have to deal with being extra tired. Basically, just because it's not going to be longer than a day, we don't have to worry about getting too exhausted, and it minimizes the amount of time that we can spend on the road getting hit with the glitch.
Let's just get going.
He's actually right, you know.
As you all begin to make your way north of the city, It's you see to the left of right of you, especially leaving out of the city immediately. You do see on the outside of the walls what looks to be a large amount of farmland. Various Digimon of different varieties seem to be working the fields. They seem to be harvesting, as well as harvesting in some areas, planting in some. The crops don't seem to have a unified cycle. As you can tell, some crops look like they are like clearly ready to be harvested, while others you can tell that people are just now planting. The life cycles of the plants seem to not really too sure how they end up doing, but there definitely does seem to be a good amount of people working outside the city immediately. Though as you begin to go out of the city, you would see less and less of the farmland that seems to permeate the outside perimeter of the walls. And someone give me a just straight D10.
7.
Nice.
7. As you make your way out of the city, you see it's been about, I would say about 2 to 3 miles so far. Basically the first hour of your journey as you're all kind of making your way to the north. The road is very clearly, obviously there. There doesn't really seem to be many detours. Maybe once or twice there is a sign that points in a direction that seems to indicate a different area or different city or smaller city. Some of the towns or some of the posts seem to be less maintained than some of the others. Some seem to have more fanciful letters to them. But for the most part, it's a pretty straight and narrow pathway north. Though on your way to the north, you see a group of Kamimon on their way as they seem to be coming from the north into the city as they kind of begin to pass by them all.
How do you pronounce how do you write that? Camomon?
It's the same thing that Riv saw in the computer one. It's Kamemon, and I can type that in chat too.
Yes, please.
It's the little turtle dudes.
Yeah, it's the whole turtle.
Yeah,
Ah.
see.
Kamemon.
Camomon, okay, yeah. Because I heard Camelmon.
No camels today.
Oh, cute. So we just see it. So we just see a bunch of Camemons on our way.
Yeah, they seem to be grouped up on their way. If no one wants to interact, I can always have more roles as well. If anyone would like to interact with them, they can.
Do they look like they're doing anything, or are they just like hanging out?
No, they seem like they are actively traveling into the city.
Oh, okay. In that case, no. I mean, just to be clear, we didn't notice anything untoward or strange in the past couple miles, right?
Nope, nothing unusual.
In that case, no.
Okay.
They're heading towards the city, nothing to warn them about.
Yeah, Kotora would just likely wave at them, but not really interact much.
Okay. Someone else give me a D10.
Two.
What exactly is your marching order at the moment?
I'd say whoever's taking the lead, Haboku is running beside them, maybe occasionally circling around the group of.
I would imagine you see the rib of Arcus in the front, but Kotora is like right behind Riv.
It's probably Arcus like in the front, considering Riv was just like helping him navigate, but wasn't doing the navigate check himself.
Fair.
I'll
Yeah,
take
and
up the rear.
Arcus is kind of a happy explorer.
And Haboku was probably walking alongside Arcus.
Yeah, and Kotora is walking either behind or beside Riv.
And is Jason Ashley keeping up with the rest of the group as well?
I'll be in the back.
Yep. Asher's right next to Jace. So, I was thinking that I might make a cleric for the next one. I've got an idea for following a god of death and...
Nice. As you all are walking forward a little bit, you feel the earth begin to almost shake a little bit. Almost like it. You feel like it's something. Either you're not sure if it's a strong wind or something, but you almost feel like something begins to shift beneath your feet along the road.
Guys, I think we should run.
Quick.
Yep. And Arcus is heading away from the shaking.
Same with Riv.
Kotora is running. I imagine like Riv like took off from the ground.
Well, I was about to say, he's not quite taking off yet because it's slower, but he's getting ready to in case it drops out from under him or it drops out below someone else and he can try and like grab them.
Fair.
He is slower at flying than he is running.
Understandable.
Haboku looks confused, but he'll likely follow Arcus wherever he runs off up to.
You can't really determine a direction of it. It's almost just like this feeling of extreme uneasy as just something seems to be like almost rumbling underneath, but you're not entirely sure what at the moment. But it does seem to be a little bit faded as you are going one direction, especially forward. How's Jason Asher responding to this?
Jace is just going to move off to the side of the road and continue walking.
Asher will follow.
There's no reason to panic and run. We don't know which direction it's coming from, but he'll get off the road.
As you do that, as you begin to do, the rest of you guys kind of run a little bit more forward, away from Jace and Asher, and almost is a little bit jarring as you're trying to. Essentially, you're not really too sure where or what, but as you are essentially kind of walking and trying to run ahead a little bit, trying to maybe get off of what you might see as unstable ground, all you can see is what sounds to be almost like the sound of cracking of some sort. You hear what sounds like almost like the grinding of rocks against each other, as well as just almost the sound of if you could hear a rock snap, that is kind of what you hear, but it almost sounds like it's echoing, like coming from underneath you, as there seems to be just between both you all and between like Arcus, Riv, Kotora, and between Asher and Jace, the ground begins to give way almost like a sinkhole, and where the road once kind of was, a crack begins to form as it almost feels like the shifting of two different lands seem to either be separating as rock begins to fall in between along this road, in between this area, as this crevice was once almost like a crack in the ground seems to be giving way more and more as a gap between both Asher and Jace as well as the rest of y'all begin to essentially appear and start to essentially unfold on itself.
Whoa.
Fisher. Oh boy.
We got to see that like forming and happening though, right?
It was very fast. You heard the snapping of what sounded like snapping of rocks, and then the crack began to you could almost feel like the ground, like one part of the ground was feeling like it was shifting up, and you could see the other ground like almost shifting down, as these two different essentially now areas are now seem to be almost splitting apart. And as you do that, especially you, Riv, you could probably see, imagine that you would probably be in the air at this would happening, I'd imagine. Especially if you see things beginning to essentially crack forms, right?
He wouldn't be in the air right away, but he would after like a tiny bit. Would I be able to roll an appraisal?
Yes, you may.
take a +2 to appraisal from Arcus.
No,
Yeah,
you could just
it-
one
it-
teamwork from Haboku.
I was just about to say take one team with Kotora, but you can take it from Haboku.
All right. I want to know what is happening though. So first, I'll try soloing that one.
He
Yeah, I'll take it. I'll just take that 3.
Okay. And just to be clear, what are you just trying to appraise like the situation or what
No,
is?
he was trying to like see. Well, he does want to appraise the situation, but he wanted to also try and get like a good look and try and see what was happening. Like how it collapsed. Like if where it started, if it like moved towards one direction first, or if it was like omnidirectional from the starting point. Things like that.
So as you begin, as you're kind of like assessing the situation real fast, you notice that a little as the crack begins to form, separating, you notice what looks to be almost like a vein, like this almost these like tendril vines and veins of what look to be glitch of this almost like this pixelated mess of it's imagine like a deep root system of a tree is baked into this rock here, and it seems to be like glitched away, and it seems to have separated where once was probably perfectly normal rock holding it together. Now there seems to be crevices and holes and like a vein that seems to be missing as parts of the rock seem to be just completely gone, like crevices inside a mountain.
Okay. And so basically it did start at one point, and then did it like run like a line in a direction? Yeah, okay. I just wanted to make sure it didn't have like yeah.
It seemed to go from the center of the road. It seems to have cracked out from the center of the road out to either side. It doesn't obviously go infinitely, but it goes a pretty decent distance before the rocks and everything begin to crumble away, basically being able to see this almost glitched area underneath, as you can kind of see these places where these rocks and everything seem to be missing and falling into essentially what would be now a new crevice and a new crack.
Sorry, I was trying to like make sure that I get this like analysis right. Did it start at one point and move in one direction, or did it have a central
It moved in
point
both.
and then spread? Yeah, okay.
It moved in a central point and spread to both sides.
Yeah,
it seems
okay.
to be as if it was splitting the road in two.
Yeah.
So are we able to walk around this crack then?
You can obviously with Jason Asher being on the other side, they would have to take the they would have to essentially walk around it. It does seem to go pretty far in both directions, as you see basically the crumbling of essentially rocks that seem to go in this middle, though it does seem to be separating more and more, but it doesn't seem to be, it's not infinitely, but it does seem to be separating more and more. As the cracks seem to go, I would say even as close to, like, you can't, like, it's because it's mostly a flat land, you'd be able to see it goes in both directions, but it is, the rocks in the two pathways between the roads do seem to be splitting even further and further apart.
Riv is gonna call out to Jason Asher and go, sorry, I don't think I'm strong enough to carry you guys.
That's fine. Well, fuck.
It's too big of a crack to do that. How far wide does it go, Riv?
Riv is gonna try and eyeball that.
Taking a aerial, like if you were to go up in the air enough to kind of see a proper amount of both sides, you could tell the cracks seem to keep going pretty far, though at about, I'd say maybe a tenth of a mile, it seems to kind of stop. As a tenth of a mile in both directions, where the crack just seems to be kind of doing that, but then in between the crack, it seems to be slowly like kind of the rocks seem to be falling more and more inward
So
as
it's
this
wider.
crevice begins to essentially expand.
Yeah, so it's reached its length, but it hasn't reached its width in terms of its expansion.
Exactly.
All right. In that case, Riv will go. Goes about 1/10 of a mile in either direction, but it looks like it's still expanding in width.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
fun.
Oh, that's not good. We're if it just keeps expanding, how are we going to be able to just move around it?
First of all, Riv is going to look around real quick and see if there are any other similar crevices that either have formed or are forming in the area.
Not around specifically. You see a few like smaller things that seem to have almost. You seem to see a few smaller like cracks and crevices here and there, but nothing like the one that just happened in the middle of the road. It seems like the shifting of the rocks between the roads seems to be what most likely caused some of the other areas. As this rocks and the instability seems to essentially trigger a few, essentially kind of like a land shift a little bit, almost like this sinkhole effect, but. It seems to have mostly targeted the road.
Yeah, basically it messed up the formation of things around by sheer dint of destabilization. But it's not. Okay.
Yep.
Is it like a fast expansion or is it like a slow crumbling?
And is
After the-
this following the road, or is it...
Oh, nope, it's going to the left and right of the road.
It's bisecting.
It's
Yeah.
Perpendicular or whatever the word is.
Yep.
Okay.
Perpendicular. Basically, you guys are on the other side of that now.
Yeah, we're in fuck. Yep.
So, Jace, what was that about not needing to run?
Hey, look, I was right. We didn't fall in the hole. It was probably actually more dangerous for us to run.
But Riv is after like seeing all that. Actually, just real quick, is it a fast expansion or a slow expansion?
And after the initial like separation, it seems like whatever was like holding it together kind of crumbled immediately, causing a really rapid like expansion. But now it seems to have mostly slowed down at this point. There was a few like crumbling rocks and stuff, but it seems to have mostly calmed down. The land itself kind of shifting to make the adjustments necessary for it.
All right, in that case.
So what is wrong with this? So why are my surprise mechanics bad, but this one isn't?
This one
it's
is bad.
bad.
This
Don't
is
touch
bad.
it.
What are you talking about, Asher? This is bad.
No, we just walk around it.
It's still expanding its width. We can't.
No, it only goes at about 1/10 of a mile in either direction. You just gotta take the long way.
Yeah, we just
Okay.
walk around.
Okay.
I mean,
Misunderstood,
sure, it's
sorry.
getting wider, but we could just walk around.
I mean, this is kind of bad. You know, typically random fissures are a bad thing. Remember from traveling all those years? Never mind. Let's just.
Yeah, this is not good. But yeah, we can just go around it. But it's gonna eat up our time.
Yeah. Also, be careful when walking now because from what I could see, it didn't like expand the glitch portion of it elsewhere, but it did destabilize the earth a bit. So be careful about that.
This is not a good thing.
And you be careful up there, Riv. Don't stop flying and accidentally fall into it.
Oh no, don't worry. I'll be careful. And he's going to actually descend and land kind of close to the edge and start trying to inspect how the data is, the glitch is eating away at the data.
Yep, go and give me a investigation roll.
Investigation, yeah, sure.
Very nice so far.
That is 3. You know what? I'm gonna vigor that just to make that a 5.
Yeah. You notice that as you kind of see these veins that seem to almost like it's almost like pixelated rock. That you are familiar with what this looks like. It seems as though like the veins, it's almost like there was some sort of like it's almost like tree veins that seem to be reaching up into the earth, going all the way to the surface. You see like what looks to be missing rocks, almost like as it follows this pattern, almost like the inside of like what would be an anthill. And as you look down, you notice with a very careful eye, you look down, and if you can just barely make out, but you look down at the bottom, and you see where all the roots and all the like glitch effects seem to conjoin, and you see what looks to be a small cave-like. You can't obviously see inside a cave, but there is a clear like dome of area down below that clearly looks to be some sort of tunnel between both sides, because as you're able to look and see on one side, you can see what essentially like a giant hole really deep fall down into the rock seems to be, and you'd imagine that the hole would also be equally on the other side as well, as you would kind of look over it. Whatever it is, there seems to be a tunnel underneath all of this rock.
Upon noticing this, Riv is gonna blink a couple of times, and then look over at like the people that like are just kind of waiting.
Mm-hmm.
So and then look back down at that, and then look back over and go, "Hey guys, I might have found something that's actually really worrying."
What is it?
There's a central point where it came from, and it looks like there's a cave down there.
Should we, He's gonna pause and think. Find someone?
Actually,
You're about
quick questions.
You're about
How
4
many
miles out of the city right now.
Yes. Definitely. And he's gonna look over. Hey, Jace, Asher, are either of you fast?
Asher, you took the Zoomies feed, right?
Let me double check. Pretty sure I did. Yes.
Jace is just gonna point at Asher.
Yes?
Okay, in that case, I'm going to trust you with something, and he's gonna fly over to you. He is going to quickly pull out his data pad, and basically like upload all of his observations into it that he just got, especially like relating to the fissure down there, the central point that it all seems to come from, and the fact that there is like a cave tunnel down there. And upon getting all of that onto the data pad, he is going to hand it over to Asher and go, "Okay, can you get that back to the Gatomon as fast as you can and let everyone know what happened?"
Hey, he kind of looks over at Jace. So I realize this is the real world and all that, but pretty sure the whole don't split the party thing still applies.
Well, I think this is an emergency situation.
Okay, and he takes off.
Please be careful with the data pad. I had to make that myself.
You make your way. You are
Asher
zooming.
has the zoomies.
You are zooming back to the city. With it being 4 miles, you would be able to cover it a lot faster, obviously, than the walking party. You would definitely it'd be a little bit of a run for sure. You would have a little bit of panting by the end of it, but I would say you'd be able to get back to town in probably about 20 minutes or so, 25 minutes or so, if you're going as fast as possible. You approach as you see the Deputamon seem to be welcoming in what looks to be some Kamimon into the city. They seem to be talking to them all casual like, as you kind of see the Deputamon just kind of talking with them.
Asher just runs past.
After all, he got told to go to Kiga, so...
Yep. I was told it was emergency.
You gotta see the Deputamon, like, he kind of initially tries to, like, say hello to you and stuff as you're kind of brushing past. But as he just saw you like no more than an hour ago, he just assumes that you forgot something. He says, well, I think you don't even hear him as he says something to you, but you are far past gone as you make your way. Only 5 minutes, even maybe 5 to 10 minutes straight to the building itself as you make your way to the central headquarters of the town.
He is bursting in and looking all over the place for the Godamon.
You'd remember that the meeting hall, the briefing room that you originally went to, is just a little bit to the front and then to the left. You would go up there and you would see a closed door, but the double doors that you remember going into the briefing room seem to be closed at the moment, knowing before that they were open whenever there was no meeting being held.
Bursting in.
You burst into this meeting as you see what looks to be the Kiga and Kino seem to be on that at the end of the room with one of those paper boards, essentially those paper boards over them doing a briefing. You kind of see what also looks to be a team of a little bit more stronger looking Digimon as they seem to be discussing whatever have you, but though you don't even know what they're discussing as you barge in. What do you say when you barge into the room? No one seems to be standing up or anything, but they do look at you with surprise.
Ravine, thing, hole, this, and he just kind of puts the tablet on the data pad on the table, and then collapses.
Oh, thank you. And you kind of see Kiga. It takes a second for Kiga to react, but realizing that you have a data pad and the mentioning of Riv, oh, this must be something that it must have been. Oh, what?
Well, he said Ravine, but that works too.
He said Ravine. But yeah.
Ravine.
I mean, Ravine, Riv, it still gets the point across.
She grabs up the data pad and starts reading it. Tia, you continue the. Actually, you continue the meeting a second, and she'll hop down. She'll kind of sit beside you, so you're not just alone on the table. Here, and she'll go over and she'll like grab like the pastries and stuff that was on the counter from what the meetings usually have, and she kind of gives you like a whole plate of like various sweets and stuff. Here, take some of these while I read over this real fast.
Water?
And she just gives you the most. Oh yes. And she you'll see her. Oh, you sir, can you get that for me real fast? Here. I really need to read this, and she kind of directs a few of the Digimon that seem to be part of the expedition group that seems to be a part of. Kino himself seems to kind of stand a little bit tall, a little bit weird, a little bit confused to look, but seems to understand the situation as she begins reading it. Tunnel? Outside of our city? We don't even have anything to protect us underground. I'll have to... Oh dear. I'm gonna have to start an expedition team looking and investigating that. Thank you very much, Asher. This is fantastic news. Well, not fantastic news for us, but fantastic news that we found it. Oh, you've been very, very good. Thank you so much. And she kind of has.
He makes a disgusted face. Not good. Evil.
Well, we're going to be thwarting this evil. If it's going to be evil, then it's going to be evil on evil, and you've thwarted this, whatever this evil must be. So you've done a very evil job of stopping that evil. And she hands you the, she places the water in front of you as well as the sweets.
He starts drinking.
I don't want to switch up. We still have a few teams that have left to leave. And she kind of looks over to Akina. It's only a few miles out of the city. Do you think these guys could take a look at it before we start them on their journey? It wouldn't be too much of a detour. We could have them start in a few days, but I'd really like to have these tunnels investigated. Yes, sir. Yes, I think that's... You said there's this hole and tunnel outside the city? Yes. There's... From what it says, that they obviously couldn't investigate it, but they definitely want to let us know, and it's definitely worth someone to look at it. I'll put up a notice in the city that travel is a little bit more dangerous going to the north, and I'll I'll get this team right. We'll get about Gideon. She kind of looks at everyone. If you guys could take a look before we get you on your next mission, that would be greatly appreciated. I don't know what's down there, but hopefully it's nothing. Thank you so much, Asher. And she kind of, she gives you almost like a small hug if she can.
He will not fight it, but he is currently more focused on just drinking some water.
Wata.
You guys says, I'll take down all these notes, and I think this is Riv's datapad, correct? I didn't give him any fresh ones. Okay, well, and she'll take the pad and she'll kind of upload the data of the report. She kind of like pulls the day 1 file 1, and she'll pull that specific report from the data pad, kind of transferring it over with a little link cable between hers and Riv's data pad, and she pulls over that file. Here, you could take this back to Riv. I know he's using it for research, and the last thing I'd want to do is take away a tool from him. Here, take this data pad back to Riv, and I'll make sure to, like I said, I'll take this great care. You guys earned yourself a great reward when you get back.
Asher will groan a little bit as he takes the data pad and makes to head back to the others. Not quite as fast, but
You make your way. You get over to the Deputamon, they say.
oh, actually, hold on.
Go ahead.
Crap, where did this? There it is.
What you got?
Dang it. He manages to resist the temptation to go get those dice.
The all important things in life.
Indeed.
The click-clacks are the most important. Well, usually.
You see a lone standing Deputamon that seems to be just slightly leaning up against the wall of the gate as you manage to make your way out. He tilts your hat at it, though he does look at you curiously, but does tilt your hat at it. At him.
He is walking, quick walking, speed walking, but he is walking back.
I'd say it'd be about maybe, I'd say in total from the interaction and everything else, it would be maybe about an hour and 20 minutes before you would make it back to the group.
So about like 2-ish hours after he left?
Yeah.
Yeah. Were we doing anything what we were waiting for?
Yeah, what are you guys doing? There's just a giant, slowly expanding crack between you guys. Would Jace make it to the other side, or would he wait for Asher to come back before he moves around?
He's gonna wait for Asher, so he'll just inch away from the thing, find a place to sit, and sit.
Yeah, Riv is going to make sure to get the data of like the like glitch expansion and all that, because this is very interesting and is something that he could compare other things against.
Yeah.
And also, once he does that, though, he's going to go back up into the air and kind of, like, look out to see if there's any travelers so he can warn them, before they stumble across this.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Kotora is staying near Riv.
So, is there anything we can use to maybe bridge across this to get Jace over?
Not while it's expanding. It's whatever we use to get across it, it'll just, get eaten up by the glitch as well, probably. Or even if it doesn't, it's gonna get destabilized by the fact that it's still widening.
Yeah. We can just run. We can just run. We can just go around it though. It's not expanding. It's not expanding by width, just by length.
Haboku looks intensely on edge. He doesn't want to get anywhere near that.
What, he doesn't want to wind up 6 feet under again?
I think the problem is he's been 6 feet under, but he hasn't been 50 feet under yet.
Got it.
Sure.
Exposure
Keep it
therapy
alive.
is in order.
All right. So, are there any travelers that ended up coming by the way?
There not yet. I will say there's going to be some up the road, but there doesn't seem to be any yet. It seems to be the travel between the towns seem to be a lot lessened. There doesn't seem to be immediate travelers at the moment. Aside from just one or two that seems to be kind of walking their way this direction. Just kind of absent-mindedly, though. They would obviously see you guys. You would kind of see a few travelers coming this way. Just not that many. I would say maybe no more than probably 2 groups in the past hour and a half.
All right. Well, if no one else does, immediately Riv is going to make sure to warn them about what has occurred and what is up ahead.
You kind of hear a few muddled curses underneath the breath of some of the groups as they kind of look at it and they kind of look at you and like, it's really getting all the way in here now. The main road. First the railroads, now the main road. What's this area coming to?
Well, it is unfortunate, but we already sent a runner over to the big city in order to make sure that, people are made aware, and we're also here to help investigate these occurrences. Although we're supposed to be heading further up north to Shashen, but for now we kind of came across this, so we want to make sure this gets properly taken care of first.
And they kind of look at you, giving almost like a sorrow chuckle a little bit. Sasha, I wish you the best in that city. It's slowly getting more and more of a ghost town every day. With all that stuff that's going on in there. Just feel shame of what's happening.
Oh, can you tell
Bars
us any
closing.
information on it?
He kind of looks at you curiously. Oh, you haven't been over there. I figured you were coming back from a trip there.
No, like I said, we recently just joined the Data Anomaly Hunters, and we are being dispatched up to Shashen in order to help figure out what's going on up there. So, any information you could share with us would be greatly appreciated.
You kind of look. Well, honestly, it's becoming more and more of a ghost town, which I guess is kind of good for it. A lot of the bars seem to be closing down. Attractions seem to be closing down. Well, the buildings seem to almost be vanishing, some of them. Whole buildings being eaten. It's a real shame what's going on over there. Whole entire thing kind of points. Yeah, one of my favorite bars, well, now was favorite bar, ended up getting a lot of their stuff completely taken out. There seems to be only one really good inn in town that hasn't been touched by it yet. Thank God for that business there. I'm gonna say, yeah, there's
Okay,
a few other
noted.
places.
Business is sus.
A good thing?
Very suspicious.
And the owner would have gotten
well,
away with it too if it weren't for us meddling Digimon.
But yeah, no. Rib is going to be very attentively staring, looking over at them, obviously taking note of everything they're saying.
Yeah, well, they seem to be speaking more absent-mindedly. You definitely could key into what they're saying. They mentioned specifically that a few of the inns, there is a few inns that seem to be fine. One in particular seems to have itself pretty much pretty much untouched for the most part. However, a lot of the other buildings seem to be having it where entire sections of the building seem to almost be gone, like someone took a eraser and just completely erased it from existing. Entire floors seem to be erased, entire windows, and even the stools inside the bars seem to have almost one day they just start almost like they're getting erased. The threads that seem to hold them seem to just kind of vanish, and it's like someone slowly just erasing the town piece by piece. They mentioned specifically about the Museum of Guardians, where it shows various guardians, and pretty much all of the guardians have been vandalized in some way by the glitch.
Okay, what was almost completely vandalized?
They mentioned about how there was a museum in town that everyone seems to go to because it shows a depiction of all the various guardians of the different different biomes, and it seems to have been vandalized by the glitch.
Something Aang and Haboku stirs upon hearing that.
So I don't really know. They said it came from the veins, but I don't know what's going on. I don't know if the veins are eroding the town or what, but we're getting out of that town. We're just passing through it. I used to love visiting Saw Shin whenever we're coming over to that city. Seeing the Golden Claw himself, the major statue in the middle of the town. It's almost nothing but a form of self. The claws himself from the Golden Claw seem to be completely missing. Glitched out hands like an embarrassment. Even the throat seems to be glitched up.
Thank you for all of this information. It's going to be very helpful.
Well, you're gonna investigate that town. Someone's gotta do something about it. Sashin's been one of the biggest attractions all the way outside of the city. It'd be a shame to see that town go away.
Yep.
So many people have memories there, you know? Tourist towns,
Yeah.
the people first time coming into the city. It's the first place you see coming in from the north. Real shame, ain't it?
Well, it is a shame, but I'm more worried about the people that are living there.
Same.
I'll tell you what, I appreciate you telling me about this. Kind of gestures over. Crack or crevice or whatever's going on here. We'll find much safer refuge in the city. I appreciate it. And you see them eventually make their way, kind of giving a long, exasperated sigh as they start walking perpendicular to the road, making their way to the edge of the crack so they can move over to the other side.
Yep. Understandable.
And this is about the time that Asher would make itself back, as Asher, you find yourself, you kind of see Jace in the distance with a data pad. I'm not sure if the data pad's in your mouth or in the backpack, but you got your data pad with you, and you got Riv's data pad with you, and you finally see Jace in the distance.
It would be in his bag. And he is just going to flop next to Jace. And he doesn't care what's going on, but he's taking a moment to breathe.
Do you need a moment, buddy?
He just nods.
All right.
Oh.
Good job, Pat.
He just sprinted 4 miles and then fast walked to the other 4 miles back. He needs a little bit of a break.
Yeah.
That is entirely fair.
You got water, buddy?
He makes a gesture back towards his bag, but just lays there panting for the moment.
Okay, good.
Kotora waves at Asher. Oh, welcome back, Asher. Were you able to do the thing we sent you for?
Huh?
You
Did
yelling
you-
across a 20-foot gap.
Yeah, exactly.
Rivers is gonna fly to the other end. You can just do that.
Okay, so like, what you might call it? Jace was waiting on the other side, but the rest of us already went around it. Okay, fair enough.
Well, we were on the other end of it from the beginning because we ran
Yeah.
forward.
Fair enough.
Yeah, Jace decided not to go on ahead. He figured he'd just wait over here because.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Yep.
Never mind on what I said then.
But yeah, Rib is gonna go collect his data pad back, and go. Thanks for doing that, Asher. It was really important that they do about that, and he's gonna like peek over the edge again, down towards the down towards the cave system below.
So what's exactly down there?
It looks like there's a focal point where there's where all of this came spreading from, and it looks like there's also like some sort of cave or tunnel system down there, which is really bad because that's probably not supposed to be here because there's nothing around and we're only 4 miles outside of town.
If it's a tunnel, then this must be if it's a tunnel, then there must be somebody tunneling into it. Which means this feature was probably Digimon made.
Probably. They also very likely, if this is in fact what happened, because this seems to be targeted on. It's just below where the main road was, and it came from a single focal point. So it's also very likely that the railroad one was also entirely intentional, and they just did the same trick.
Oh dear.
Sabotage?
Well, it's likely. I mean, it seems like they're cutting off all the different methods of travel around Shashen. If it is in fact intentional, which by the tunnel system, it seems very likely, but obviously has not been confirmed yet. So.
Which is worrying.
Yeah.
Not only because they're probably cutting off contact from Sashem, but also likely that if it is something on somebody just tunneling below us, they might just be getting closer and closer to the main town, the main city.
Yep, and if they get near the main city with that, they can either undermine the entire wall or just kind of open them up inside the city.
Indeed.
Didn't Kigo and Kino say something about some Digimon being able to control the glitch or something?
Yeah, that did get mentioned, where there are people who are able to intentionally utilize the glitch, yes.
Do you think... As he looks towards the crack.
I am thinking along those lines, Jess. Which is why it's very important that we end up sending the information that we just got.
Yeah, I mean the weird part is that it came from a focal point down there, but it it hasn't collapsed in the rest of the tunnel. It doesn't look like, at least from what I could see, at least from this angle. So it originated from either the top of the tunnel or somewhere just above the top of the tunnel, which would be a very, very weird location for a repeat version of the same thing. Although I haven't gotten to look at the other one, so I'm not entirely sure if it's exactly a repeat. I'm gonna have to look at that when we get there. Happening at the other main method of travel in and out of the town.
How far down do you think it is?
About how far is it?
I'd say about 40 feet down.
It's about 40 feet down, so pretty deep.
That's a climb. Plus, it's gonna
Well,
look
also,
just...
we probably shouldn't touch the glitch that's still eating away at the rock.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was getting at.
I
There's also that to deal with.
I might be able to fly down there, but also I don't think I'd be able to avoid touching anything at all while doing that, so I probably wouldn't actually get anything.
Yeah, not a good idea. Not a good idea.
Yes, please do not do that, Riv.
Yeah, I mean, because my bag will probably end up touching the wall, and then I'd lose it, and I'd lose my data pad and everything, so...
Yeah. Your internal data is already scrambled. You don't want to lose your external information holder.
Yeah. Although it got scrambled too.
Oh, for the love of.
I'll say some time. I'll say some time passes as well, Asher, as you would be able to feel fit enough as you were before to kind of some time enough would pass as you would have a decent enough breath to everything. Though you are still 10 miles out from the city, and the time did take you, it is at least getting not entirely
Wait,
dark.
10?
But
I
you
thought
can
we were
tell.
4.
You were 4. You're 10 away. Sorry, 10 miles away from Shashin. My bad. 10
Oh,
miles
the
away from, like,
destination.
Shashin.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
So
like, wait, what?
yours-
So he just ran 10 miles and then...
Not yet.
I don't think he's good yet.
Yeah, it is getting with the amount of time it took to get there and back, and also with you guys having a little bit of a later start, it is getting the sun is essentially getting closer to setting, though it's not entirely night yet. But it is very getting into that evening period, and you are still 10 miles from the next city.
I don't think it's the best idea to be camping out here given the current situation, but also we'd probably have to go through like almost the entire night just to get there in time. Or if we just kept going. So
Yeah,
We set up like a watch or something?
unfortunately, the Fisher and having to send the information delayed us by a lot, so we're gonna have to.
okay, so we have to both watch out for the rain and the ground.
And do this all night long while walking in the dark?
Zerda, what's the topography and or vegetation around here like? In terms of
It's mostly flatlands, like especially like I said, the area seems to be mostly flatlands. You'd know that there is, at least from what you would have gathered, there is some places outside of Sasha, obviously some more farms of the like, a little bit out closer towards, because even between the two towns, there would be some farmland as well as some people obviously tending to farms and farmers. For the most part, it is very much plains-like. A lot of the vegetation and stuff mostly seems to have been replaced with farmland, though in the middle between the two cities, where there isn't really a need as much for that like direct access to the like farmland areas, it would be pretty greeny and grassy. It's kind of like imagine kind of like a savanna desert, but with a lot more grass growing around it.
Okay.
Kind of like a
so
grassy savanna plains.
Yeah, so basically just like, straight up grassland.
Yeah.
All right. In that case, Riv is going to go, okay, well, there's not really any cover around, but if we get off of the main road, it should at least reduce the risk of one of these popping up beneath us. If it is, in fact, intentional.
And I will say, you do still have a few bits of daylight left to go towards the city as well.
Yeah, it's just, if we don't want to go through part of the night, or at least most, it's going to be.
Too bad there isn't a tree line.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to look for, but there's no real cover.
We have two options. Either we begin camping when it actually gets to night, or we try and run, like try and go fast paced to see if we can get to the city before nightfall.
Oh, idea. There's farmland between here and there. What if I fly up and try and find a farm for us to try and stay at for the night?
That's not a bad idea, Rev.
Just be safe. An abandoned building's perfectly fine if you see one that's closer. As long as it looks stable, we don't want something that looks like, is going to collapse out any second.
Yeah, either way, we're still going to need to head towards Shashen for a little while anyway, but, as we walk, every I don't know, probably, 15 minutes to half an hour, I'll fly up and see if there's any buildings around. And then if it starts getting really, like, getting close to dark and we still don't have it, then I'll actually start, like, flying around a lot in order to try and find some.
Why don't we rediscuss if it gets dark?
Okay.
Because I don't think it'd be safe to let anybody get too far away.
Well, that's what I was saying when it starts getting dark, so that way it's not actually dark yet. But okay.
I'd say you still have enough daylight to kind of start making your way. You know that the farmland itself is probably going to be a few miles out of Sashin itself, mostly just to kind of capitalize on that lush, kind of fertile ground that's around the area. As you are going north, I would say you would make about half the journey, about 4 to 5 miles out from Sashin, as it begins to get a decently, as you kind of see the sun setting a little bit, you're about 6 miles out from the city where you are right now. Though as you begin to make your way towards Sashin, you do see what looks to be, as you do kind of notice people as you're especially flying around and looking for various areas, where you would spot what looks to be some sort of Digimon that seems to be pulling a cart, though very, very slowly. But they seem to be going in the direction of Kenzo, for their main city. Though they seem to be pulling it very slowly.
Alright, in that case, Riv is gonna fly down and, relay this to everyone.
There is no one else. It just seems to be this one,
No,
singular Digimon.
I mean to the team.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
To the team. He's relaying this information to the team.
Yeah.
So he found somebody that's pulling a car very slowly. Did he end up finding some sort of farmhouse?
You'd imagine, Viv, that it would be further north, just with enough plains land, since it is so flat, you'd be able to see. They clearly are most likely coming from one of the farmland areas or from Sashin themselves. The distance of their home is a little bit hard to see, as you can kind of only barely see, like, almost not even sure if it's a mirage in the distance, but you kind of see what looks to be somewhat of structures far, far down the road. Though with the night waning, it is a little bit hard to see out that far. Though you think you see what looks to be structures from the direction of the person pulling the cart.
Alright, in that case, I'm just gonna roll a quick perception check just to see if you can get any more. Is that okay?
Yeah. Nice. Nice. I said nice. I said nice.
What the heck?
What do you ever not see?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right. Does Rib see a lot with 9 successes on 3 dice?
What
Very
the
nice.
elven eyes see?
Look,
yes, with
the moment I touch a tabletop, the dice decide I'm main character sometimes. I'm sorry.
Hashtag never punished in chat, please. Hashtag never punished in chat.
Oh my god.
Yes, you with you able to finally you seeing this guy, like you are smart enough to know, like, this guy is clearly coming from somewhere. Like, he's clearly coming from somewhere. He wouldn't just be out here in the middle of nowhere. So as you kind of go up even further, you notice that while the main road to Sashin doesn't seem to have any buildings, as you kind of guess where he's kind of looking, as you kind of look to the left and right, and tucked away after a few different trees in a certain area, you notice that there does seem to be a home pretty far in the distance, maybe about a mile out. With your vision, you're able to kind of zooming in, you're able to see a decent structure about a mile out from where this guy is coming from. Though it is off from the main road, but it's close enough to the main road as you kind of see a pathway from his place to the main road to where he is now.
Hold on. I'm just imagining a meme real quick. Where, like, I'm just imagining him going, okay, glasses enhance, and it does like the Spy Kids thing where, like,
you did the zoom in enhance.
Enhance. That doesn't actually happen, but I just the meme in my head had to be said.
No, you see, Riv does it and just holds his glasses further out in front of his face.
It magnifies
I
his
can
vision.
I can definitely see Riv getting glasses like that eventually, though.
Oh yeah. Well, like he would definitely be about it.
Mhm.
He did like these glasses don't even correct his vision or anything. He just has them. So I mean,
He likes to read books, so somebody gave him glasses, probably Kotora.
Kotora gave him the glasses. I mean, he uses it basically as like a little mini like data display for himself. So he does the thing. But yeah, no, he will inform the party of the individual and the fact that he sees buildings in the distance, and he's pretty sure they're about a mile away and actual structures.
Ah, that is likely a farmer that is bringing his wares to Sheshan, and maybe those buildings nearby are his home. Maybe we could ask him if we could stay there.
Yeah. Well, also we're gonna have to warn him about the road because if he's trying to bring that heavy cart down the road, it's kind of
Yes,
not.
definitely.
Yeah.
Let's go, everyone.
Well, whoever
Are
leads
you
the
gonna?
way, a Haboku will bound after them.
Yeah, we're heading towards the person pulling the cart.
I'm imagining that Asher is just going along slowly, very tired. He ready for sleep.
Understandable.
Are you gonna approach the? Are you gonna approach the Digimon first, Riv?
Yes.
Oh yeah, sure.
Don't take any of my stuff.
You see,
Yes,
to you,
exactly.
I always see the screen. Oh, low energy. You see what looks to be, even though there's enough light out to kind of see who it is. It seems to be a mushroomon, but was once you'd imagine a vibrant purple color among their spore cap, it seems to be almost like a fainter purple, almost with you can almost tell it seems very much fainted with age. A lot of the color in their body that was you'd imagine should be very vibrant seems to be almost very muted. And as you get closer, you realize the reason they are struggling to pull the cart is you can tell they are very, very much struggling to pull this cart, but they seem to have these kind of two straps on either side of the wheels, and they seem to be kind of hoisted up with like the bar is underneath their like armpits, and like these shoulders and the shoulders kind of have this some sort of rope around it so they can kind of pull, and you see them pulling what looks to be a cart, various vegetables and others seem to be grown. You see various vegetables, including as well as grains and some beans along with it as well.
So what was the reason that they were struggling to pull the cart?
They look old.
Okay. In that case, Riv is probably going to try and run up to them. Kind of doing like a little wave as he's moving.
You see, you can see, it is a person who is very well versed in, essentially traveling. He kind of gives you a nod up and down real fast, seeing that you're obviously going the opposite direction of him. He gives you almost a small, but almost like a strained smile. Like, you can tell he's clearly, very much struggling with what he's doing, but he still gives you a smile nonetheless, and a full, like, head nod as he seems to be trying to pull this cart very slowly.
Hey, you might want to put that down for a second. Hi. So the road that direction, towards the big city. Yeah. It just had one of the glitches pop up, like how the ravine showed up beneath the train tracks. The same thing just happened on the road that direction.
You see a few even what muted colors in his face do seem to get even more muted as you kind of see. Oh, That's troublesome. But
Um,
I must get this cart to the market district by morning. I'll go around. Thank you so much for letting me know.
Oh, are you okay?
Kinda looks. I've been traveling this road more than enough, but I've been letting my son take this to the market for too long, and in my hubris, I've gotten weak in my age, and now I have to be the one to take it to the city. Just kind of see kind of picking up the he kind of laid down like the straps around around on the ground a little bit as he kind of seems to be talking with you a little bit before he kind of seems like he's ready to pick it up again.
Hold on, wait, just a second. Kotora, can I have my canteen?
Kotora gives Rib the canteen.
He's just gonna like grab it in his claws and wait for it to cool down a little bit, and just go. So I really don't think it's the best idea to go down the road in the middle of the night while there's glitches actively opening up in the road.
He kind of gives you a very soft smile. Oh, it's so nice of you to be so considerate, but I must get these to the market by morning so I can, well, have some money so we can, well, so we can keep everything going back at home. The market opens early in the morning. I'm sure I'll make it there by night.
How much do you need?
He kind of looks at the card and stuff. Well, he kind of looks. There's enough vegetables in here to sell at least a whole day's vegetables and fruits and the like to the city. And he kind of looks. They could probably fetch at least about. He kind of looks 10 bites for everything. I could probably make it there.
River's just gonna open up his bag and pull out 10 bites and go, okay, here, now you don't have to go.
He kind of looks at it a little bit. It's like, oh, but I must get to the city as well. I mean, I must get to the city.
Well, if you need the money, then here.
You kind of see him as you see him look back at like the farm, and then back to you, and like down to the money, and then back to the farm, and then back to you, and then down to the money. It's like, I appreciate it. I must get to the city. There's so many things going on around here. He
Sure.
seems to be not really, like I said, he seems to have something else he is not
Okay.
entirely conveying.
Why are you so insistent on getting there?
Gun looks.
It's very dangerous, sir. You could, with what's going on right now, something, a fish could just open from out of your ground, and you will never get to the city.
No offense, you don't exactly look spry when you're carrying the cart that's heavy.
I'm gonna see a little bit of a look in his eyes. He seems to kind of look and kind of glances back to the farmland a little bit. I must get to the city though. I hear there's things in the city that they can help with more than just vegetables and the like.
Oh, you need help with something? What do you need help with? I
Yeah,
know a
but
lot
you
of things. I can try and help.
Yeah, what do you need help with?
Are you trying
Gonna
to get
see-
away from something?
Oh, what was that, Jace?
That was Haboku.
Oh, Haboku? Sorry, I didn't hear you saying. What was that, Haboku?
Are you trying to get away from something? Something causing a problem?
It kind of looks, well, you know, that glitch is happening all in Sashin, and everyone is really scared about that glitch stuff going on. I'm sure you guys and all of you are really afraid of it too. I wouldn't want to put the worries of an old man on the youth.
Oh, don't worry. We just joined the Data Anomaly Hunters, and we're here to investigate the glitches in Shashin.
Yeah, we're actually here to investigate all that stuff. It is literally our job.
2 successes for an insight check.
Okay, Actually, you'd say as you kind of see the way he's kind of looking back and forth, you see almost like a sorrow in his eyes every single time he kind of looks back. It's almost like he's trying to determine whether he can go back to the farm or back to the city. You can tell how much it pains him to, like, when he talks about getting to the city, you can tell how much it like pains him to talk about it. But every single time he kind of looks back to the farm and back to you guys, he sounds a lot more resolved in what he is saying. As in,
Hey.
something at the farm is convincing him to go forward.
Okay, so you're not going. End of story, end of discussion, end of argument. We're going back to your farm tonight. We will be making our way back to the city in the next day or two. We'll take you with us then. Let's go.
Hey, I have a question actually. If you said that your son normally takes it to the thing, why don't you let him do it?
You kind of see him. He kind of chokes up a little bit. Oh, I don't want to burden the youth. You kind of see as he gives a very kind of a weak smile.
Oh,
Why
just
isn't
stop
he
the
coming with
nonsense.
me?
You're clearly something's going on, so let's go see what it is.
He kind of says, "You aren't afraid of the glitch at all, or?"
Honey,
No,
I've seen the worst that the glitch can do already. I don't think it can get much worse than the things I've seen.
We're here to investigate the glitch, so it'd be unbecoming of us to just run away from it if it's something about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's, you kind of see, you kind of, okay, but I'll show one of you, and whoever's the bravest, I'll show you, and then you can decide if you want to stay.
Come on, let's go.
You kind of see him as you say that, Asher, he begins to pick up his, like, the rods underneath his arms as he begins to, like, get the straps next to his shoulders as he's, like, getting ready to board.
Asher's pushing him away and taking his spot.
Asher, you're tired. Let me do it.
Haboku will volunteer.
You see a bit of almost as you kind of push him away, he's realizing that you guys are helping him. You kind of see like a very soft, very almost like kind of like a happy, sad kind of look to his face. But you do definitely tell there's something that he seems to be afraid of. But he welcomes you back into. It should only be about just over here. It should only be a small walk. I wasn't able to get very far. And he'll kind of take you back to the farm. You see what looks to be a large farmland, though the crops themselves seem to be a little bit unpruned, not too wild, but it looks like the farmland has been missing a few bits of labor of late. Though he did seem to, what he does have picked seems to be the best of the best of what he could pick from the farmland around. He'll take you to the main house itself. You're still you're about now 5 miles out from the city. As you essentially approach his home, you see what looks to be a large barn-type structure, as well as a few silos around. Though they're, well, smaller silos in comparison to some of the larger ones closer to the city. He kind of looks to you as you kind of set down the carts back at his home. He kind of lets you take it inside the barn where you see several various bags and of the like of various vegetables and grains. As he takes you to his main house, and he says, "I really don't want to frighten any of you all, but if one of you wants to meet my son, I would be happy to show you, but it's a little bit unstable at the moment."
It's okay. The last time I got scared about something was like 5 months ago, so you're fine.
And I'm evil, so it's okay. I don't get scared.
I've seen worse than whatever this is.
I gather your son was badly affected by some glitch, hasn't he?
You see a bit of like kind of tears begin to well up as his eyes a little bit as you kind of say that, but if you're here to help, maybe you can find a way to help him too. As he kind of breaks a little bit talking about it.
Don't worry, even if I wasn't here to help, I would have helped you anyway.
Indeed.
You kind of see him. You kind of see him with almost like a kind of. He kind of looks to you all. He kind of takes a deep breath, and with a deep breath, he'll open up the door, and with a second, he says, "Okay, I wasn't able to make it to the city. Some nice people from the city came by. You kind of see.
We didn't let him go, so it's not his fault, but he got paid.
He didn't actually take money, I don't think.
You kind of hear someone coming. You kind of hear someone, not someone, you can see someone talking from the back room. If you do, I mean, Grandpa, please, you must take some rest. Show them to the barn, and you kind of see, you kind of hear a little bit of panic in his voice, a little bit.
Asher's
Show them to the
bursting
barn.
in.
As you follow the voice, Asher, you come upon a room with the door open as to keep. Obviously, the door's very open. It's a home. The door seems to be open, and on the there seems to be a bed in the room. And as you kind of step through the doorway, you see what looks to be a very much more vibrant colored mushroomon. One that is the color seems to be very youthful about them. You can tell they have definitely a lot more color to them than what their you'd imagine their grandpa would be. But as you see them in bed, you notice that both of their arms seem to be completely missing, where it seems almost like a fuzzy haze about themselves, where it's almost like that pixelated glitch where there is just their arms are just nothing more than almost like looking at a mirage as you stare at their body.
Oh dear.
By the way, Riv would have been trying to follow behind.
Yeah.
Would have been allowed to go.
And Kotora as well.
Neither of them are going to stop you.
As half the party just squeezes into what is probably a really small room.
That's why I'm staying out here. I'm pretty sure that after all you start moving, nobody else is gonna fit.
You see kind of a look of shock on his face, but he kind of like turns away, but he's not really able to do much. But you can see he looks very embarrassed about his situation. I told him not to go, you know. I told him not to go to the city. Some old man thought he could get help in the city.
Three successes on medicine.
Roll one more dice from Riv.
What are you? What check is this?
Medicine.
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 You know what? This is
visibly
important
the-
enough. He's figure pushing.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
Ooh,
Nice.
very nice.
You'd be able to tell that whatever this seems to be affecting his arms, this is not you have enough experience. You've kind of seen what different glitches look among different people. This glitch does not seem to be what you would classify as wild. The arms themselves seem to be almost very, very cleanly. While the arms themselves are very pixelated and almost kind of has that mirage look to them, where you kind of can't really discern what they are. The point where it actually like comes onto their real body, where it is clearly like visible, it seems very, very almost clean at the cut with it, as whatever is affecting it has exclusively taken their arms and nothing else. And in the room, you also see what looks to be a also kind of looking around the room for anything else. You guys would also see a wardrobe, kind of like a drawer next to the table with a picture on it, as well as a lamp. And he seems to be just kind of, like I said, he can't really do much to turn away from you guys, but he does look like he's very much embarrassed by the whole situation, as you can tell his arms are just completely unusable.
Does Asher share this information and out loud?
Probably not
Kotora
just
and
blurting it out in front of the kid, but
Yeah. I mean, Kotora and Riva are there. I don't know about Arcus and Haboku.
Arcus is there at least.
Ah.
and
Yeah.
technically Riv would get this same information as well.
Yeah, Riv is getting the same information.
Yeah.
So
I mean-
Riv would probably like softly be sharing it, just like in his like kind of mutter, like not letting
Yeah.
the guy hear it, but you know.
Kotora is nodding.
And he is gonna end up like poking Arcus a little bit, just going like, "Hey Arcus, you okay?" You're kind of doing the shaking thing, so
I'm shaking.
yeah, like very slightly. Did you need to step outside or something?
I didn't know I was shaking.
Just to make sure, like the thing you put in the chat thing was accurate, right? That.
Oh, yeah, he is. He
Yeah.
just doesn't
Yeah.
seem to notice.
Yeah. No, I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
Riv is gonna like poke at him slightly, just to like kind of like point out, hey, you are literally vibrating right now.
Kotora is nodding.
It doesn't
So-
seem like his normal vibrating. Oh.
Who took it?
I don't
He
think
kinda-
you're
he
supposed to
kinda-
ask that directly.
He kind of looks down. He kind of doesn't really look directly at you, but he kind of says, "Wish I knew. I'd go get it back if I could. It just happened." He kind of looks. He kind of tries looking at you all, like seeing if you guys are like looking at him sympathetically or like a freak, or he's trying to see if anyone's scared of him. He's trying to get everyone's kind of vibe to him a little bit before he ends up trying to, because he is kind of being exposed to so many people at the same time.
Yep. Riv is going to look. He seems like pretty like analytical, like he's trying to like figure out things, but also does look at least not like pitying, but like sympathetic about things.
Yeah, Kotora is not overly analytical, but he's giving a very similar look, just kind of sympathetic about it.
Asher is not bothered in the slightest. He looks more determined than anything.
I hope Asher isn't looking like anything different, considering.
He would look to
Yeah.
you all, and kind of with a kind of a sigh, he says, "It was happening shortly after we had opening market day. We just got done." He kind of looks out to the window that seems to be on the other side of or kind of where his bed is up against. We had our opening day with the harvest. We had people come by. They wanted to pre-pick their crops before it happened, and with all the business booming around everywhere, we wanted to show everyone the crops. Some people had to come in and take bids on entire sections of fruits and vegetables. It's always a big day. We had several people come by and take a look. As after that, just no more than a few days after that, maybe 3-4 days, I was laying in bed one night and I woke up. It's like something was pulling the threads of my arms. It's like watching ribbons go into the air, and they just kept going and going, and I started panicking, and I called out, and my grandpa came in, and it's like my arms were unraveling into ribbons that vanished into the air, and then after just 5 very, very painful minutes later, they were gone. They were gone.
Which
The arms were
direction?
gone. He kind of looks over and he just kind of says, "Up." It's like It's like they just vanished into the air. The threads were pulled. It's like some puppet was pulling them from the sky, and it's like they went somewhere. I don't know where, but someone took them. It's like they erased my arms. Like they erased my arms.
Was there any was there any weird weather around going on about the time?
Or was there any individual on that festival looking suspicious, or anything that looked odd?
Kind of looks no. We had so many people here. Everyone was here. People were taking various pictures of the crops, and he kind of looks over to the side, and he kind of points. I even have this picture of my grandpa and I before everything happened. And he kind of gestures over to like a picture on the wall, or not picture, a picture on like the nightstand that you can tell is facing inward, that you can imagine that the grandpa probably sat there. You can even see, even in there, it was gone. It's like something erased it. I don't know what. I've never seen anything like it. There was no weather, there was no rain. Whatever they're saying in the city that happened weeks ago. I don't know what it is, but it's not that. Maybe there's two things. Maybe everything's trying to go against us. We've always been such a popular town. Been popular. We were popular.
Mm. Sounds like some sort of targeted attack, because, well, fissures just suddenly appear in the trains nearby, in the trains that go to Shengsha, and also we just bore witness to a fissure also happening, opening up in the road towards it. It seems like whatever is causing this, it's trying to isolate this town specifically.
This town's been nothing but beautiful to everything. My grandfather and I have been here for so long. We've been selling vegetables and stuff to the town for so long. I was gonna be a farmer like him. I've been working since I was so young. Now I can't work at all like this.
Is there anyone who may have had a grudge against you or something?
Kind of thing. He kind of like looks to a moment. We've always been peaceful here. I've never bullied anyone and never had anyone try to do anything. I've always been very nice. People at the market seem to be nice. We've been the most successful farm out here. Everyone's loved to come by here. Our lots are one of the highest rated lots in the city. Everyone loves our crops. Everyone loves our business. Our farm is one of the most producing farms outside of the city.
And oh, that's okay. Well, I'll have to check on some things, but I'll do whatever I can to help you and your grandpa, I promise.
Me too.
We all will.
Yeah.
Just
I am
don't let
still
him-
shaking.
You notice, Arcus, how is your body reacting, Arcus?
It's kind of weird. It's like when someone is shaking like nervously, but he's still acting normal.
So he's shaking nervously while his expression's still regular.
Yep.
Yeah, Riv is gonna try and appraise you if you're fine with that.
Go
That
ahead.
is abnormal as hell. Alright, well, that's 2. That's average. To note, this is more focused on like health and like abnormal data effect kind of stuff. He's not trying to appraise what you're good at or something.
Yeah, you're trying to read body language.
Yeah, or see if there's like anything currently like outside trying to affect him or something like that.
I'll go ahead, Arcus. I'll let you take away what that means to you.
With a 2.
I will say you could also roll deception yourself to see if any of your internal thoughts are even coming through.
No, he's being really open right now.
Fair enough. Just letting you
Deceive
know
yourself,
your
child.
option.
I'm just trying to figure out what he would get with a 2, because this thing is very obscure.
Probably not much.
Well,
Yeah.
so there. Okay,
You
so there's
probably will
when
see
it's when
body
you say
language.
obscure, there is a difference between getting raw data and being able to interpret it.
Yeah.
And also,
Well-
Haboku, if you want to take a second to think, Haboku's also been doing some things too. Oop,
Yeah, give me a minute.
I don't know why that copy pasted. So
Yeah, if
do
you
see,
click and drag slightly, it'll copy paste.
Haboku, if you want to describe yourself.
What he's more or less doing is just us trying to get a little more information out of the sun. And do you remember where the attack was, or where you were when and something got taken?
He kind of looks. Like I said, it happened like 4 days after the festival. Well, not festival, the auction. Whenever we were auctioning off all of our great crops this year, we had some of the best harvests we've ever had. It's about 4 days after that happened, and then suddenly it started unraveling, like it was something like the sky itself was just taking my arms. It was like 4 days from that. That's all I know. If there was something, whatever it was delayed. If someone did something on the farm, it was delayed.
It happened here on the farm.
Right in this very room, but there was nothing in the room when it happened.
Were
It's like
you
something took it.
were you given something by anybody in the action?
He kind of thinks. He kind of looks. He kind of he's looking at. Well, we have. And you kind of see the grandpa kind of come in and shuffling in a little bit at this point, wanting to help his son in whatever way he can. We just had all auction off. Several people came by. A few people took photos of all the crops and stuff for the local news. We have little pictures and stuff. And all they did was they came by and they looked at everything. I got so many biddings for everything, but without the ability to harvest all my crops, all the bidders are going to lose a lot of, well, I'm going to lose a lot of money, as I can't do all the farm work myself. Maybe one of the other, he kind of seems apprehensive. I don't know how all the other farms are doing, but hopefully they're not affected as bad as this. Since we're targeted, we just had the usual crowd. It was all friendly faces. Kind of says you can even see ourselves in the newspaper. We had ourselves, and you kind of see, he kind of gestures over to the nightstand as he kind of walks over and picks it up, kind of running his thumb over the picture as he kind of shows you. This was the picture they took on opening day, and you kind of see what looks to be two people that seem very, very happy. You can see like them holding up like a huge cabbage, like between the both of them. But in the picture, you can see that the arms of the Mushroomon are having that pixelated look in the photograph itself, despite it only being a photograph that clearly was not whenever it was taken. We had everything there whenever it started, but even the picture seems to reflect reality.
Okay, wait. That doesn't make sense. This picture and that picture were taken before your arms were taken, but as soon as they were taken, they basically got like updated. They self-updated themselves to reflect reality. Maybe
That
maybe
would be
maybe
so.
whatever or whoever is causing this is using some sort of image thing for um however this happened to you. Perhaps the pictures themselves are a clue.
He kind of gestures to it as I mean, I'm not entirely. I'm not familiar with all the technology stuff. We've been just peaceful here, trying to keep our crops and keep the people fed as all the new people coming into the city. And I'm not familiar with all this
Wait,
picture stuff.
wait. Actually I have an idea. Maybe our contact in Shasha may be able to tell us about this. After all, he is a cameraman. That is his specialty.
Maybe.
Kotora is talking about Ragiri.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
By the way, did Haboku get anything from his investigation?
As you step around the room, with the one investigation, you would notice that you can tell that a lot of the room seems to be slowly, like, the room itself seems to be slowly getting less and less clean, as you can see that the labor around the room, even though you can tell, like, the tops of shelves that are, like, really too tall for him, seems to be a little bit more dusted. You can tell the air is just a little bit less clean than what it could be. You can tell that whatever is causing it is this old man is not able to upkeep this house, as you're kind of seeing evidence of that. As you'd imagine, the concern as well as the energy of this old man is not able to keep up the house at his current state. But nothing directly stands out to you as abnormal.
Hmm.
You kind of sees as like, if you promise to help my son, my grandson, I'd be happy to give you this photo.
Oh yes, please. I mean, the photo is the only thing that we have as a clue. Our contact in Shasheng is actually an expert in photography. Maybe he might be able to help us when it comes to this mystery. Because the self updating picture is bizarre enough. I don't really know much about this myself. Do you, Riv?
Can I have Riv roll a lore?
Certainly.
Oh. Nah, I'm gonna will that. There's Wikipedia. That's a 5.
With a 5, so just tell me specifically what you were trying to figure out, just to make sure I can give you a very precise answer.
Yeah, so Kotora was asking if Riv knew anything about things like self-updating pictures. So he was going to think about anything that he could really remember or figure out about things that would be able to affect something's data or transmit information from a distance to the point where it would be able to update a separate object without it being any amount of like connected with like a data cable or something.
Yeah. Judging from especially with that lore check especially, you know specifically that data in the world is especially from what you know, data can be both a very solid but also very fragile thing. Usually whenever data is taken, especially in something like this, whatever there is, there has to be some sort of connection, some sort of there's no, like I said, the wireless is very, very much not a thing as well. So whatever is doing this, if something is taking data from this photo, they either have to be really close or have to have some sort of connection to the photo in some way. Like it wouldn't just be randomly plucked out of the air. It is something that's very, very specific. Something kind of like almost like an invisible link cable. Something connecting two things together, even if it's over a short distance. It's not something that someone can't just decide someone in the middle of a city is going to lose something. They have to have something that grounds them together.
And would something in that list of possibilities count as like, either a copy of the same photo coming from the same like camera, or like because it came out of a camera, there's a link between that and the photos data?
I would say both of those would be extremely good guesses. And I'll say I would say you would feel pretty confident about those two guesses themselves. You're not sure which one, but I would say you would feel very confident that with your knowledge, it would be something very similar to that.
Yep. Okay.
I would like to try something.
Go ahead, Asher.
Asher is going to look over at the kid, or man, whatever. The grandson. There we go.
Yeah.
Not to explain things.
Go ahead.
Here, I'll just say that Riv will, pass along the information.
Yeah.
The exposition dump thing was already ruined a bit. You just have the information.
I'm sure you'll be piecing through it more than enough as time progresses.
No, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
I get excited about like doing that thing like in character, and then that moment passed.
You're good. No, you're good. You'll have more than enough chances. I believe in you. What's up, Asher?
Anyways, he is turning to the grandson. I'd like to try something. It's gonna feel and look kind of weird, but just trust me. Okay?
He kind of like steals his face a little bit, and kind of gives you a firm nod. If it means helping my grandpa out, I'd be happy to.
Okay. He is going to activate his defrag refrag and study the data of the grandson and see if he can determine the link between them and ideally where it goes.
Okay. Give me. Let's see what kind of check. You can give me that medicine check. Same, similar as last time. Give me that medicine check with it.
I really need more dice.
I'd offer teamwork, but I don't know how.
Oh!
I don't think you need.
Oh!
Never mind.
I think they'll be okay. I think they'll be okay.
So, yeah.
So, Zim, are you filtering luck from the other group specifically to this one?
The god of death is coming into his own.
Be honest about your fate theft here.
Well, I tried it with Nova, but that didn't work, so, I had to take a little extra from the rest of you in wild tradition.
So, with that, as you...
Uh-oh.
Is there that?
Okay, that was
What?
his.
No.
Okay.
Oh, did something
out.
happen?
Yeah, you went
You
robot.
literally just cut out.
Oh, sorry about that. Actually, do you want to describe kind of what your defrag ability does to everyone, or I can just kind of describe it? You've only used it once so far. I didn't know if you want to describe the actual, like, the good part of it instead of the bad part.
So the defrag refrag, first off, his holy ring on his neck would begin to glow golden. But basically he pixelates the target. And he's able to look between the different pixels and boxes of data there. Some of them are probably highlighted different colors for representing damage or corruption. And those he's able to just kind of pick out. For healing somebody, it's, pick out the damage part and fix it up and put it back and or rearrange things a little bit to fix it up. But this one's probably a little different, but very similar.
When you say that they become pixelated, I almost thought that they become Tamagotchi, like kind of like that status element in Digimon World 1.
Okay. With that, I'll say,
Basically, a whole bunch. They turn into a whole bunch of different colored boxes.
Mhm. Terrifying.
you are terrifyingly successful at this. You would see, especially kind of like analyzing the body, you can tell that both the picture as well as the arms share there's almost like something coming from the picture itself as you're kind of going into this more analysis mode as you're kind of looking into the data, and there seems to be just the smallest hint of there's almost like the smallest hint as you're kind of looking at the photo. The glitch that seems to be affecting the arms also seems to be exactly affecting the picture in the same way, as they're almost giving off this almost sickening feeling, like it's almost like a nauseating feeling as you're investigating this closer, and you're kind of seeing the links and seeing how the data was essentially kind of almost taken from both the picture and it. You kind of feel like it's something that is not exactly like the picture took it, but like the same thing that took it from the picture is the same thing that took it from him himself. In terms of you kind of trying to figure out maybe how to help, you do kind of analyze his data in a way. If you wanted to try, you could try to help him get back some of his arms or arm use, but you'd have to take data away from another part of him in some way. Some part of him would have to essentially go where the glitch is part of, let's say, entirely cleanly cut off his arms. You figure that if you were to pull the right strings, you could probably defrag parts of him and then reattach him to his arms, at least to temporarily allow him to use his arms again. But it'd be a pretty risky procedure, but you feel it would actually give him use of his limbs again.
Asher's got a bit of a different idea in mind.
Go ahead.
He's gonna go ahead and end the ability for now. I've got a couple of ideas, at least for temporary fixes. First off, any trees nearby that maybe vines?
Yes, we have our grand tree, the one that it's our greatest apple tree we have ever grown. It's out there, and he looks out to the window, and as he looks out to the window, you could kind of see as he's staring at a very, very, very tall, girthy apple tree with very lush red apples that seem to be still dotting the branches.
Actually, that might work even better for my idea, but is it okay if I borrow from it a bit?
He just, instead of saying yes, he just looks, he says, You can do that?
I think
With
so.
its very most widest eyes possible. As much as we love...
I've not really
kinda-
tried this before, and I don't know how it'll work, but I'm willing to try.
He kind of looks to his grandpa as he knows that this tree has been in his family for generations, as far as he can tell. And the grandpa, even without even question, you kind of see him just give a soft smile to his son and says, "You're more valuable than every tree on this entire farm. If that tree's been in all generations, then it was built to help you if that's the case."
Aw.
Oh,
Okay. So Jace is probably getting almost bowled over as Asher's running outside.
Jace, you see a very scampy Asher running straight outside with a curious look about them.
Asher, where are you going?
Oh, I'm gonna take some data from a tree.
Why?
He's already out the door.
What the hell? Looks at the room, looks outside, sighs, walks outside. Asher, what are you doing?
Well, I think I can go ahead and take some of the data from this tree, because they're basically like plants themselves. So take some data from another plant, maybe move some of their own data around, and maybe I can give him his arms back.
wait a
Buddy.
sec. Motions are not plants.
Buddy, you do realize if we just solve this, he gets his arm back, right? It's not like completely lost.
Actually, Wishmon and third type AB is literally E plant.
I did not understand what Jay said.
Jay said if we figure out who did it and take care of it, he'll get his arms back.
Well, yes, but they kind of seem like they need it now. And who knows how long it might take us. This is just a temporary thing until we can reattach them later. But
Do you know how to do that?
Nope.
Jace just gets this look in his face like, yep, I raised this one, and he's just going to walk back inside the house, stick his head in the room, and be like, "What in the world did you guys convince my kid to do?"
We didn't say anything. He just walked up to that mushroom on it, and it just made him all pixelated, and then just went outside. He didn't
Oh,
explain
he
anything.
used that.
He didn't explain anything.
Yeah, that would be Asher. He's going to go and do weird, whatever his ability thing is, and try and do limb thing replacement, I guess.
What is his ability? What was that? I've never seen something like that before.
I don't know how to really explain it. All I know is that it scared the shit out of me the first time he used it. All I know is that he can heal wounds with it.
That's
Ah,
cool.
Something about separating data, I don't know. I was, as I said, he just kind of did it out of the blue one day. We were out and I got really kind of messed up. I fell out of a tree, don't ask.
oh, I think I see. I think I see what he's attempting to do then. If that's how it works. But
As outside the window, you guys just see the tree pixelating and blocks flowing into Asher.
It's like the spirit bomb. He's just, just taking...
Time for bashing something?
Yeah, just as a warning, he can do that.
Right, granted an exploding 10 to the evil dog, not the undead dog.
I'll explain him a little bit more later when we get a moment. Long story.
Seems cool.
For your
Well-
creativity, I will give you 2 extra dice just to see how successful this is because you're being really creative and making connections between plant and fungi.
Well, also connection between, you know, the
Life.
tree has got a connection between the family.
Yeah. Like I said, I'll give you an extra 2 dice for this. I think you have a really creative idea here. I would say roll your defrag, like just roll the attack, more so as in not attack exactly, but the accuracy of it. So I would say use it and then get 2 extra dice for it.
Okay. That gives me more dice then.
4 dice.
Chase is gonna go back to standing in the living room because there's a lot of people in that room. He's gonna trip over everybody if he goes in there.
Hmm.
Let's
They
see
got
how
this ending.
let's see how the wooden prosthetics come into fashion. The suspense. Oh god, so many dice. Oh no.
Oh no!
The double ones.
You have some
Okay.
soul left?
Oh, I haven't used any soul today.
And Asher does have an exploding dice from the card right now.
True.
Oh,
Well,
come
well.
on!
Okay, willpower.
Willpower it is.
It's nighttime now anyway, right?
Yeah. I guarantee you, I think giving this guy his arms back is going to give you at least a night's rest. Okay, that is looking much better. That is looking much better.
Exploding 10.
Hey,
Let's see, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 success?
plus the 10.
Yeah,
Plus
the
the
card.
Yeah, so 7, and also, would his medic specialty apply?
Yes. Yes.
Alright, one more die. Okay,
Okay.
so 7.
Yeah, as you begin to essentially do what you're doing to this tree as your collar is, like I said, is lighting up. Go ahead.
Got a little bit of description on this.
Oh, go
Basically,
ahead. Please do.
he's just taking a bunch of different parts of the tree, the blocks, and he's just got this big ball of blocks in front of him as he's running back in the house and starts using it on the grandson again.
I
As
can
you
only
do,
imagine
like I
how
said,
the pixels look when he runs in.
you are like everyone, like the grandfather especially, is extremely just. I mean, he is stunned. Like he looks at his tree, and like there was no like loss whatsoever from his face. Like he has look here, and he just says, "By the ancestors of my farm, it looks like that tree was made to help this generation." And you see him as you begin to as you're kind of like taking the data from this tree, and you're kind of laying these bricks almost like foundation, layer over layer. It's just a layer after layer on top, as you're kind of connecting this almost life force of the apple tree into the arms of where the data is, and where this glitch that seems to have just completely eaten away the arms. It's almost like you are mashing that, even though it is mashing it even further into into the middle of their arms, like where the bones would be. You can see the almost like the leaves themselves just seem to go around. It's like a coiling of vines and the sinew of this tree as it begins to wrap. It doesn't get rid of the glitch, but you can tell it is tightening it and squeezing it and compacting it. And you can see where once his arms were pixelated and full of nothing but this almost mirage look, you can see a set of very almost burly, this wooden thick arms that begin to almost see like the fingers themselves have been jointed by what looks to be vines. Their fingers themselves seem to having a strength to them, and their arms is even their joints that seem to be connected by these vines, and the whole arm just begins to fully take place as the glitch begins to get more and more crushed. It doesn't go out, but it is contained within this, and it is not visible from the outside anymore as you begin to piece all of this together. And after a few moments, the mushroomon, after feeling this, you can tell he is almost just like he is gritting like his teeth. He is trying to essentially like the feeling of this is so overwhelming, even if it's not painful, just the feeling of it being so overwhelming has him so tense. But as you finally finish, he relaxes, and you can see him like testing as he looks down. You can see his fingers one at a time begin to go and then crane inwards and crane out and crane inwards and crane out as his arms have temporarily been given life once again, as if the ancestors from the tree that was made so many years ago, so many centuries ago, has now given his son the strength he needs to continue the farm. And you can just see him like just gripping without even just a word of his mouth. His whole body seems to be just stunned as the grandfather just stumbles forward and kind of looms over him and kind of drops on top of him, hugging his son with a very strong like feeling, as the son now put his arms around the grandpa, which he hasn't been able to do in now weeks, and he just sees the hug for the first time that he can get in this been time.
Kotora is actually clapping at that. Wow.
And his work done. Asher is probably going to very much collapse in tiredness.
That was amazing.
Yeah, it was definitely amazing.
As you kind of hear just a small, the final like weeping coming from the grandfather. It's a sound of happiness, but it's a choke of happiness as well. But you can see like he had no idea how long this would take to resolve. He had no idea how long it was going to be like this. He has accepted that this was going to be a thing until whatever happened, and all of that has been broken down and shattered, and just he is just fully encased in his son as he says, I I can't give you anything that would be equivalent to this. I can't give you anything at all that would be the grace of my own son's arms. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, my young lads. Thank you.
Could you perhaps give us some login for the night? We were actually looking for that to be perfectly honest, since it was getting so late.
You are welcome in this house anytime you. I will make sure any generation of mine has welcomed you six into my house. Any generation I have ever had, any generation after me will welcome you into this house.
Hey.
Yeah, some sleep would be nice. Not sure if it'll be as strong as they were, but at least it'll last and hopefully until we get the real ones back.
Yeah, and we have and thankfully we do have some clues as to how we could possibly get them back. From the thing that Riv was telling me earlier, I'm getting the feeling that perhaps it was whoever took the photo that made this happen.
Yeah. Most likely.
Yeah, Lux, I wish wish I had more information to give you. There was so many people taking pictures that day. I just heard they handed them out. They were handing out. I don't even remember the one who gave us this photo. We were so happy to see everyone come by and see everyone auction off and everyone and seeing all of it. I wish I could tell you more, but if you want, and you kind of see him slowly unclasp the back of the frame so he could take the picture out. If there's anything at all you can do to help, I will here. And he kind of hands you the photo of him and his son. The photo itself still does seem to have that glitched arms that seem to be missing from the photo. The photo is no longer connected in the sense of the photo is no longer showing what is his arms right now. It is still showing the glitch on the arms, but at least he has it in person. But he will give you the photo to help you with your investigation.
Kotora is taking the photo. Well, if you can't, if you can't really remember and you can't tell us anything, then that's fine. At the very least, perhaps Regiri can tell us something since he's expert in photography. Once we are able to make contact with him.
Oh yes, Rikiri. He's a fine lad, actually. He kind of sees him wiping away some tears. He's been taking photos of all Kizzy for so long. He's always at all the festivals and everything. I think you'll find him a good friend.
Was he here when this photo was taken?
Kind of thing. He seems very emotional at the moment. I I'm sure he was, but he's at every festival event, but he's always there, along with everyone else. There's tons of a tourist town. We have so many people coming by. Oh, I fear that this tourist town is turning upside down. We used to have so many things, the galleries, the pictures, and everything. If he is, I'm sure he must know people around town. He must know all the people in town. Those photographers stick together, you know. Kind of takes a breath a second. Also, yes, Haboku, you will be allowed to take and sniff the photo. It says, yes, he must know all the people in town, that the paparazzi and all that, the people who take the photos. He used to be part of the main news people in town, always posting photos of various people in town, always showing up to people whenever their eggs hatch or whenever festivals happen. He's a good lad.
Where was the last place you saw him? Do you know where he is?
Oh, you can't miss him. He's always in town hanging around, always taking pictures of various buildings and the like. He's one of the main people in the city, always taking everything. You wouldn't go 5 steps without knowing where he is sometimes.
Okay, good to know.
He's no stranger to the town. I'm sure he'll be happy to help you with what you're doing. And yes, and he'll kind of. You may stay here. I will personally take all of these vegetables, and I will make you the best meal for the night and the best meal in the morning. Let this old man do something with the energy you've saved him from the day.
Oh, let me help you out with that, if you don't mind.
It would be my pleasure. And I'll let everyone kind of give some last. Also, Zim, I will say we're gonna give some a little bit last minute thoughts here soon, as it is kind of wrapping up a little bit.
That's fine.
But I'll let everyone kind of have a last kind of minute talk as Kotora is going to help prepare the dinner. I'll say the dinner is prepared for today, and I'll say if anyone wants to say anything over the dinner table, we can. And we'll end the session with a sleep. But I'll let everyone give a chance to talk.
I would first like to say the results of Riv's roll earlier.
Yeah, go ahead.
His scan doesn't really reveal anything, but yeah, that behavior's odd.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, Riv, you noticed that something seems off about August, though You're not exactly able to tell what exactly, but it does seem off. Something different. Jace, do you have anything to say to Asher?
Not really. Sorry, I'm half awake right now.
Oh no, yeah, we're
fading.
doing closing. We're doing closing remarks. Don't worry. Okay, other than that, then is there any Kotora or Haboku?
Haboku is mostly still in awe at what he'd seen Asher do. No, no, but as people begin to peter out, he kind of remains and just as scratches under his hood a bit of a solemn expression in his eyes, as the mention of food it for once hasn't completely taken his attention.
And Kotora is just helping out the Oma mushroom with his cooking.
Doing, you have the best set of food that, at least the best set of food an old farmer can make for you all. You see, he brings out a various sautéed vegetables as well as a few different grains that have been made into a porridge and some rice and various grits. He tries to make as much of the food as he can, as the food has technically been bought. He will show no expense at making sure that you have the best of his crops for both the night, as he will feed everyone constantly. Just kind of almost kind of see him kind of putting his hand on his son's arm, almost kind of feeling it, but feeling a great sense of warmth, as if his ancestors have helped give, along with Asher, his arms back for now. And he will turn you on. He doesn't have enough. It's not like he has 6 beds lying around, but he definitely has enough grains and the like to make sure that everyone has a warm place to sleep, along with as much comfort as he can provide with various blankets and the like. He's no inn, but he will give you the best of his accommodations he can. And with that, you are just 5 miles from the city, soon to see what mysteries it lie. And with that, we will call it a session.
Nice.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Very impressed by Asher and creativity with that.
Yeah,
Asher
All
is
right.
good doggo.
yeah,
No, he is
honestly
not.
very nice. Honestly, that was honestly very nice. Although, try to not interrupt somebody else next time.
You're good.
Wait.
We'll watch it a little bit. I appreciate that.
Hmm.
Thank you all for playing the game today. Hopefully the story's progressing in a way that makes everyone feel like there's enough mystery to keep going, but also enough suspense to kind of keep the interest. So I appreciate you all listening to me today.
I enjoyed it
Thank
very
you.
much.
Yeet.
Getting into
Thank you,
kind of the meat and
everybody,
potatoes.
for joining us today for Data Anomaly Hunter Scar. Check out our website, zgfgaming.com. We've got links for our Discord, Telegram, Mastodon, Blue Sky, Patreon, and more. There on the website, as well as down in the description below through our link tree. Thank you to my patrons, tippers, and subscribers. It is your support that keeps this channel alive and going. I cannot do this without your guys' help and your support, so thank you. Consider becoming a patron over at patreon.com/zgfgaming. It's one of the best ways to support the channel, though you can also do so by sharing the stream around, as well as coming by, hanging out, picking up packs of cards to stream loots, using our Humble Bundle partner link, or subscribing to us on YouTube. But for now, thank you all so much for joining, and I bid you the most fondest adieu.
Bye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.